I don't think Michael Owen is as quick as he was 6 years ago when he first burst onto the England.
But that still doesn't answer the question about why his off-the-ball running isn't as good as
I saw a comment attributed to him about the fact that he's having had these injuries and getting the muscle bulk continually working on it to get that right. What I also think, you see and you watch Liverpool play, and the Gerrard diagonal ball over the top throw, and you see that. I think he needs a service from closer into him, from that midfield, the ball not always so long, where you play it through. A little bit, I go back to the Rush situation. Now, Rush was quick and sharp, but I tell you what, it was played in for him diagonally from the midfield, from his own half. He doesn't get that much kind of service. Then I think he'll find the runs by coming off that last defender.
Alan, from your experience of when Charlton have played Liverpool, do you think, as Alan Green does, that he maybe just have lost a yard of pace?
Well, no, what I think has happened is obviously a bit like, we're talking about Wayne Rooney. He's still an unknown quantity for a lot of defenders, even at this tournament. And I think Michael Owen, everyone's very aware of Michael, so back fours drop off a little bit deeper. He has to come deeper as well to try and get into the game. But I can tell you one thing, if he scores tonight, he'll be a yard quicker all around the park. And it doesn't matter. I'm looking at Thierry Henry warming up here now, and he's doing all the things he normally does, but he hasn't scored. And I'm sure if he scores tonight, he's going to have an extra yard, an extra spring in his step. So confidence is a major factor. No matter how we think about players and how good they are, confidence is a major factor, and as a forward you need some goals, and Michael needs a goal.
And Alan, from your perspective, when you have somebody like Owen who scores so many goals, you really don't drop him, do you, under any circumstances?
Well, no, I think he's earned the right to stay in the side, but when Graham was talking about his all-round game there, I think I noticed, certainly against the Swiss, he got the ball in the box and he was taken on the defender and checked back onto his right foot, and there was no power in the shot. It was as if he wasn't confident about it. It was a similar position where Rooney scored when he hit the post and come back and hit the keeper, and he was confident when he checked inside to get his shot off, and Michael wasn't. So, as I keep saying, it is a confidence thing, I think, and the only way them forwards, they can run around, they can do a lot more work off the ball, they can get a tackle in, they can put pressure on defenders, but the one thing that's going to give Michael a lift is a goal.
Alan Kirbishley, the Charlton managers, our summariser at Switzerland, France in Coimbra this evening. We'll keep you up to date here on 5 Live from Lisbon on that game. If you want commentary on it, then it is on our sister station, 5 Live Sports Extra. Kick-off 20 minutes away here in the Estadio da Luz. The England players still out there. Just a few shafts of sunlight across the field. Mostly the Croatians are back inside now. Damian Grammaticus is in Lisbon. He's on the riverfront. There's a big screen there, and plenty of fans who don't have tickets will be watching it there. Good evening, Damian.
Good evening. Yeah, we reckon about 40,000 fans at least in the stadium, and many of those who are not in the stadium gathering here at the fan park on the riverfront. There's a big screen up. There's a mini football tournament. There's penalty shootouts. I've got a couple of them with me. Alex, first of all, what's your feeling about tonight?
I think we're going to win 4-1 actually tonight. I think we're going to do really well. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think we're going to put a few past them, to be honest.
That's a pretty confident prediction.
It is, and my mates have laughed at me at the prediction, but I've got money on it, so I'm just hoping that we're going to win.
Well, Amy, you're here too. What do you think?
Well, I think, of course, we're going to win, but I have put my little euro in for 1-1 because that's all they left me.
Now, we were just hearing about Michael Owen. You had some thoughts about that. What do you think about Michael Owen?
Oh, Michael Owen, yeah, he's all right. That's all I have to say about him, really.
You're not sure he should be in the side, then?
Well, I think he was good in his time, but I think he's faded a bit and they're just clinching onto him.
Great, well, thank you very, very much. Enjoy the game. We will be bringing you more from here at half-time, but for now, fans, a couple of hundred of them already in front of the big screen, more arriving as we speak. Back to you.
That's Damian Grammaticus on the riverfront here in Lisbon. Well, lots of England fans this evening will be casting their minds back to Charleroi 4 years ago. England need just a draw against Romania to qualify for the second stage, and they failed. The parallels with tonight's match are unavoidable for England captain David Beckham.
It's going to be an interesting game because obviously, they need to come at us from the start because they need to win the game. We only need to draw it, but we're not coming into this game thinking we'll take it easy, we'll get the draw, because we can't afford to do that. We've been in this position before, a lot of the players here, where we've only needed to draw a game to go through to the next stages, and we've lost. So we're well aware of what they can do, and well aware of the physical part of it as well. But, you know, we're not worried. We're not worried about their team, but we're not becoming complacent where, you know, we're too relaxed about them.
Do you think it helps that 4 years ago, you know, against Romania, you actually lost the game, so didn't go through? Do you think you can draw from that experience?
I think it helps because of the memories. The memories weren't nice of that time. You know, we beat Germany and everyone was up and expected us to go through to the next stages without us even worrying about Romania. And unfortunately, they came out and they scored a goal in the last couple of minutes. So, you know, we can take a lot from the memories, because I personally wouldn't want that to happen again.
That's David Beckham with Charlotte Nichol. The parallels are there, Graham Taylor. And when you have an awful experience in football, it does drive you on, doesn't it? To just try your darn hardest to make sure it's not repeated.
Well, you don't want to repeat it again. The problem is, of course, if you think about it, it can get into you, and it's very difficult, you know, to put it completely out of your mind, but that's what you have to do. This is so important. I mean, at this level particularly, it's as much a mental thing, you know, when you get it to this kind of level, all of it has got to be, your mind thoughts have got to be positive, they've got to be looking at things, but these fellas are human beings, they're like anybody else, and so there will be times when little bits of doubt creep in, but the last thing you want to be doing is really thinking about what happened in the past, because it's finished, it's gone.
It's also a completely different England. I'm talking in terms now of a sort of tactical managerial setup. Kevin Keegan, who was very heart on your sleeve, over the top, come on boys and everything. Perhaps not a great tactician, whereas Sven, particularly because of all that time in Serie A, there's one thing he does know about tactics. Would you go along with that?
Well, not totally, no. I have to defend Kevin here, because I think that's something that has been thrown at him, sometimes quite irresponsibly. Yes, you can always make a point for it, but I mean, in many respects, I think that's a little bit, you get labelled. I've been labelled. Everybody gets labelled in that sense. So I think that's a bit harsh sometimes on Kevin.
Him as that, Graham.
Yeah, but I mean, players will label managers anything, particularly if you don't win. I mean, you go along with that. It's part of the game. What I do think that Sven has brought, he has brought that calmness. There's no doubt. I mean, what Sven goes out of his way to make sure doesn't happen, that there is no argument. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to have any breakup. And he's been able to get this by this continuity of selection, by making sure that there's no splits in this squad. He's been able to bring a calming influence in there, and there's no doubt about it that the sum of the present England players, that is helpful. That's helped them come out, and it's helped them express themselves.
Well, it's only 15 minutes till kick-off, but I have to say there are a lot of empty seats still around the England end, if I can call it the England end. It seems to be, because they're all England fans away to our right. There are huge, great swathes of empty seats on the top of the three tiers, and some of the England fans are taking the opportunity to lay out their flags. We can see half the white eagle, the emblem of Benfica, on the far side from us. There are a lot of empty seats there. The empty seats directly opposite us are probably nice corporate seats, because they're over the halfway line. They're probably having a gin and tonic and will nick in late on. The Croatians away to our left in those red and white check shirts. They've taken up, if we can call it their allocation, most of their allocation, and they're making plenty of noise. But I know it was very hard for a lot of people to get in the other day for the France match, and maybe still people trying to get in through the security systems and so forth. But still plenty of empty seats here. Kick-off under 15 minutes away on your 5 Live, your European Football Championship station. Here's Dalia Raphael with the news.
Live news, live sport.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Mark. There's to be a 24-hour strike next week on the rail network and London Underground. The stoppage has been called by the Transport Union, the RMT, in a dispute over pay and pensions. The Transport Secretary, Alistair Darling, said the industrial action was unnecessary. The Kent fireman deported from Portugal, where he was convicted of football violence, has said he'll appeal. Gary Mann was jailed for 2 years, but for legal reasons won't have to serve his sentence in Britain. 8 British sailors are still being held in Iran after the boats they were in strayed into Iranian territorial waters. It's thought they were taking the boats to Iraq when the incident happened. Diplomats in the Iranian capital are trying to resolve the incident. The Prime Minister has opened the campaign to win backing for the European Constitution by saying that the treaty was a success for Britain and a success for a new Europe. The Conservative leader Michael Howard said the treaty was bad for democracy, bad for jobs and bad for Britain. Let's check on the roads quickly. The M1 in Hertfordshire partly blocked southbound at the moment between junction 9, that's Flamstead, and 8 for Hemel Hempstead. The police are dealing with an incident there. In Surrey on the A24, it's closed on the Leatherhead Road both ways between the Parkers Hill junction and the Ashley Avenue junction in Ashted. That's following an accident. You can expect some long delays on the approachway. And finally in Norfolk on the A11, an accident has blocked one lane northbound in Thetford. That's between the A134 Brandon Road and the A1066 Munford Road. 5 Live National Travel.
During Euro 2004, the nation's biggest football debate gets even bigger.
I still think we've got all the class that we can go further in this competition.
Now you can share your views on AM, on digital and online with 606 Interactive.
I don't feel that depressed about it because the way we were playing, you kind of expected it.
Just press the red button on your TV at the end of BBC One's live football coverage.
I think we should outclass them.
Watch online at bbc.co.uk/606.
The French were quite brilliant.
They played well, it's bad luck. We're going to do it. There's no chance we're going to lose it.
Or listen tonight from 10 on the Euro 2004 station 5 Live.
Mark Bright with Interactive 606 from 10 o'clock tonight. Good evening from Mark Pugac in the Estadio da Luz in Lisbon. The players are all off the field in the changing rooms now, just getting ready for kick-off in over 10 minutes' time. Other sports news today: the opening day at Wimbledon, Roger Federer beat Alex Bogdanovic in straight sets. Other winners today: Venus Williams, Leighton Hewitt, Goran Ivanisevic and Martina Navratilova. Wimbledon Football Club will be no more in a few days' time. They'll be known as the Milton Keynes Dons. The Football League say they can make the change, and Andy Flintoff and Marcus Trescothick are doubtful for the opening one day in the Triangular Series against New Zealand. Just a reminder of the teams then. Here's Alan Green.
England have the 1 to 11, so it's the favourite starting 11. James the goalkeeper, defenders Neville, Terry, Campbell and Cole. Midfield, the skipper Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes. Strikers Owen and Rooney. Rooney's got 2 goals. Owen who's yet to score but will score, trust me. Croatia, their goalkeeper is Bettina. Remember Pleticosa, who was their #1 goalkeeper. He was injured before the tournament started. I think they're going to play a 4 at the back. Simic on the right, Robert Kovac, Simunic in the middle, and then Zivkovic on the left side, the former Portsmouth player. We're told he's the one who's going to be deputised to look after Beckham. Tudor, very experienced player from Juventus, he will sit in front of that back 4, and then you've got 3, Rosso on the right, Rapac on the left, and Niko Kovac in the centre, and the 2 strikers, Perso and Sakota.
And Ian Brown can give us team news on Switzerland, France in Coimbra.
Well, the French are regarded as being as strong as they possibly can be, and that does not include Desailly or Gallas. They've been left out of the side, as have Decour and Wiltord, as they make 4 changes. Coming back in, Sagnol at right back, Lizarazu at left back, Makaleli into midfield, and Pires supporting, of course, the other attack-minded players, Zidane, Henry and Trezeguet. As for Switzerland, who can still qualify if they win this game, Haas is suspended. Oncho of Liverpool comes in at right back, and it's a new look forward line for them. Fry suspended, pending further discussions about his alleged spitting at Steven Gerrard, and also left out the veteran Chapuisat. So they have the 18-year-old Van Lanten and the 22-year-old Geekax leading their forward line here against France.
The photographers have rushed to the mouth of the tunnel. They're standing on those black platforms. That means that the teams won't be long now. They'll be down in the tunnel soon. Group B then, France 4 points, England 3, Croatia 2, Switzerland 1. All 4 still in with a shout. France and England both need just a draw. Terry Butcher, England captain at the World Cup 1990 semi-final. Terry, we saw Portugal start with a terrific tempo last night. Would you like England to start with that same sort of tempo this evening?
Well, start with a better tempo than Spain did. I mean, Spain, I thought, were very poor, very slack. I think they were worried and more nervous about the situation. Portugal just went for it, and they went for it right from the word go. Didn't get the breaks or the chances early on, although Ronaldo had one right on the stroke of half-time. But their attitude, I felt, one of them, the crowd got behind them, and there's obviously a very, very big, or a very large, dominant England crowd here today. So if England can do that, I wouldn't say go hell for leather, because you might leave yourselves wide open, but at least be positive and keep the ball. What I want to see England do are the fullbacks get on the ball, make passes, England retain the ball better than they have done in the 2 matches. And people say, well, it was a better performance in some degrees against France. They still failed to keep the ball when it really mattered against France.
But if you're an England player now, Terry, and you're in a position of only needing a point, would you say to your teammates, forget about that, think about it as if you need a win?
Well, I wouldn't worry about the points at all. I wouldn't even mention the points. Just the fact that you have to go out there and beat them. We know, everybody knows if England beat Croatia, they're in the quarter-finals. Simple as that. And I think at the end of the day, the only time you ever think about possibly settling for a point is probably the last 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes when you say, right, they've thrown things at us, we know what we can do, let's really shore up the ship and make sure that they can't get through. Whether England can do that or not, I'm not too sure. But if England were to go ahead in this match, then there's a much better position than having to chase the match as Spain did last night.
Well, it is extraordinary, bearing in mind how many England fans are in town, that we still have these huge swathes of empty seats around this ground, Graham.
It's surprising, isn't it? We're just expecting them to fill in. Because it is difficult to get into this ground, I thought, well, by the time the kick-off comes, these will be full. But we have quite a number of seats, really, that haven't been filled.
But if possible, there are even more flags than there were for the opening 2 games. It's as if every village, every town, every nook and cranny of perfidious Albion, as they were once described, is here. And that is a testament, the support that England have brought over here, which on the whole, and we must say this and be responsible, on the whole has been extremely good-natured. And there are plenty of families here and women. And if there's anything of football fans, it needs women and children as a civilising influence on them.
Yes, it is. And it's very good to see them all. But if we even then just put that to one side now and look into that dressing room, those players are coming out, the manager's coming out, it's coming into what they know. It's a knockout situation almost, as well, you know, before it really becomes the real knockout. But these players will be coming out in here, and in their minds they know what they've got to do. And as I've said earlier, if 7 or 8 of them get on their games and they hit it mentally and physically, don't worry, Mark, we'll be okay.
Now, you've used this before, you've said this to me, and I find that very interesting from a managerial point of view. You know you're not going to get 11 out of 11. You reckon 7 or 8 out of 11 should do you a job most of the time?
I'll tell you, that's what happens. It is very, very rare for 11 players, let's say in this day and age 14 players, to be physically and mentally at their top. You're very lucky, very, very lucky if that happens. So you look for 7 or 8, and they carry the other 3, and it may change from game to game. And I think that's what's happened with England. We may just have carried Michael Owen for a couple of games. Today may be his game. Let's hope it is. And that's how you forge your team spirit, how you forge your team. You look after your mates when they're not having such a good time.
We've mentioned a lot the yellow card to Wayne Rooney. We should just reiterate for people at home, maybe you're coming home from work and you're stuck in traffic or wherever you are, or you're out running an errand. We hope you're enjoying our coverage and you stay with us. David James is on a yellow card, of course, after giving away a penalty against France. Paul Scholes is on a yellow card, and Frank Lampard as well. And we can see the England team now. Pierluigi Collina just puts his hand on Owen's shoulder. England in red this evening. England in red this evening. I know those shirts have sold well at home, and that's what they will be wearing this evening. The flag of St George, carried by 8 local Lisbon children, is being held in front of us in the right-hand half as we sit, and the Croatian flag in the left-hand half. And still these empty seats, an awful lot of empty seats away to our right and over on the far side, and just a little pocket away to our left in the middle of the Croatians. And then there's basically the segregation between the England fans and the Croatian fans, the goal to away to our left where Zidane scored those goals. That is basically been put into effect by flags. So we keep our fingers crossed. Still a pretty good atmosphere, not as good as France because of these empty seats.
Yes, I know it does have that. There'll probably be afterwards some talk about the selling of tickets. What I would know now is they come out. As far as I'm concerned, this is the take-off. We're into the quarter-finals, and we're really in and going for it.
And there's the reception for the teams, and the flashbulbs go off, and Graham Taylor can't help but just clench his fist as if he was the England manager once again. In that technical dugout is the England players in red, just link arms, and they've all got a mascot with them each as well, of around about 6-7 years of age, something like that, as we prepare for the national anthems before this crucial Group B match. Well, England are not going to lack for vocal support and encouragement this evening here. Well, some England fans just can't help themselves whistling and chanting throughout the whole of the Croatian national anthem. As the two teams shake hands, the flag bearers depart, the maskers walk off hand in single file. And now the two teams shake the hands of the officials. Pierluigi Collina, the best referee in the world, indisputably in charge of this match. The teams now will assemble for the final photographs. England need only a draw. Let's see what happens. Graham Taylor, the former England manager, is with us. Terry Butcher, the England captain in the World Cup semi-final 1990. Alan Green. And first, here's our correspondent, Mike Ingham.
So here we are, back in the Stadium of Light, on the longest day of the year, 8 days after the eventual darkness against France. A game, I think, that's going to define Sven-Göran Eriksson's 3.5 years as the England coach. A chance to show that England have advanced since Euro 2000, when they were faced with exactly the same scenario, only to fail. England need big performances, in particular from 3 players at their 4th tournaments: Beckham, Scholes and Owen. They could hardly wish for better support. England in red and white this evening with an unchanged lineup: David James, Gary Neville, John Terry, Sol Campbell and Ashley Cole. David Beckham, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Paul Scholes, Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen. Pierluigi Collina got as big a cheer as any of the England players when his name was read out to the crowd. Croatia have made one change from the side which held France. Bielica is replaced by Zivkovic, the captain, who we think will try and do a marking job on David Beckham like he did for Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League when Beckham was with Manchester United. Butina in goal, Simic, Robert Kovac, Simonic and Zivkovic, Rosso, Tudor, Niko Kovac, Rapajic, Perso, Sokota. None of those players play in Croatia, and they've defenders from big clubs: AC Milan, Bayern Munich and Juventus and Stuttgart. England need a draw. Pierluigi Collina, the great referee who refereed England's game in against Argentina, of course, in Sapporo. England's 5-1 win against Germany in Munich, and also refereed the game which got England here, the goalless draw against Turkey in Istanbul. The players being made to wait, and now away we go. And in this first half, England play exactly the way they played in the first half against France, from right to left, and England need to start well. They need to keep the ball. Gary Neville, long ball into the Croatia half, headed away before Michael Owen can challenge. Croatia predominantly in blue with speckled red. England with Steven Gerrard lift the ball across to Ashley Cole on this near side of the field. Cole controls the ball on the chest, tries to lift it towards the Croatian penalty area, and it runs away from, well, the goalkeeper. That must have taken a deflection off a defender, because Butina, who has come into this side in place of the injured Pletikosa, concedes a free kick over on the far side. England looking to Beckham for the first time against Zivkovic, and it's going to be a goal kick to Croatia. And here's Terry Butcher for the first time.
Yeah, if anything, it's a slight surprise in terms of the Croatian lineup. Zivkovic has gone into central midfield, Tudor's gone at the back to partner Robert Kovac. It's I think Zivkovic trying to do a marking job on Steven Gerrard. But the other line-up, the way that the Croatia lining up, was very similar to England, matching them up 4-4-2. It's the wide men, Rosso and Rapajic on the left-hand side, that can cause England problems. But England need to get their fullbacks on the ball as early as possible.
For the first time, Croatia seen as an attacking force, with Rapajic down the left-hand side of the field. Cross it comes into the England area, looking for Rosso. Rosso will keep it in by the corner flag, faced by Ashley Cole, who's having a good tournament so far, Cole. Croatia find Niko Kovac, one of the brothers. Now Simic, they move it in towards Zivkovic, the man, of course, who played unhappily at Portsmouth. Rapajic can't keep it in over on the far side. And an interesting little side feature of this group, of course, is we've brothers all over the place. We've got Philip and Gary with the England squad. We, of course, had the Yakin brothers of Switzerland. And now we've got the Kovac brothers, who were German-born, Robert of Bayern Munich, and Nico, who once played for Bayern Munich, of Hertha Berlin. And it's England on the break down the right-hand side of the field. Michael Owen going into the penalty area. Owen looking to deliver for Paul Scholes, headed away by Croatia. Good England break there. And Scholes has the throw-in down this near side of the field. Throws the ball back to Cole. Fantastic support from the England fans here in Lisbon. England looking to Lampard on the edge of the area. He's thwarted, though. Croatia looking to clear, but caught in possession by Scholes. Now it's in midfield with Boris Zivkovic. And Zivkovic untangles himself. Rooney, of course, one of the England players on a yellow card tonight. Lampard, Scholes and James being the others. Croatia knock a rather aimless ball to the far side of the field. It's going to be an England throw. Well,
let's hope that the Neville brothers aren't the Blues brothers when it comes to the end of tonight. But it's an encouraging start from England down the right-hand side. Good ball across from Michael Owen, just inches short of reaching Paul Scholes in the far post. Croatia able to clear, but at least England have been in Croatian territory.
Long ball by Gerrard, seeking out David Beckham, but Simic is there inside the penalty area. He's going to turn with Beckham, and he turns well, does the defender. You're listening to 5 Live, England 0, Croatia 0. And, of course, simultaneously, we have Switzerland and France playing, and Croatia give the ball away. That's normally England's crime. It's Gary Neville. England playing with good urgency here. The ball in the area towards Scholes. Croatia managed to clear, and they clear very hurriedly up in the air. Most of the game so far, inside 3 minutes, being played inside the Croatian half. Scholes looking lively. Doesn't get the pass right at all, though, for Lampard, but Lampard will stretch effectively and give the ball to Gary Neville. Neville onto Steven Gerrard. Gerrard doesn't control it first time, though, and it runs away from the Liverpool captain, and a goal kick for Croatia.
Yeah, that's a good positive start from England. It's not too bad, just 3.5 minutes going up to the 4-minute mark. They've looked lively, they've looked sharp, they've tried to win the ball back when they've lost it in the Croatian half, and they have won it back on quite a number of occasions, and trying to feed Owen, trying to feed Rooney. Gerrard's looked lively going forward. Ashley Cole's looked lively, and Gary Neville looked lively going forward. So I would say, all in all, it's been a positive start for England.
Neither of the Croatian strikers have touched the ball yet, I don't think. Perso and Sakota. Sakota, of course, of Benfica. Campbell getting up now with Perso. The ball will break to this near side of the field, and Giovanni Rosso. He's got Perso in the area. It's lifted too high, though. Gary Neville's headed clearance. David Beckham doesn't control that at all, well over on the far side of the field. And then referee Kalina, as the two number 7s collide. That wasn't great at all from David Beckham. He should have got that one away. And here's the danger for England. Yep. Croatia are particularly good with free kicks and their set pieces. And here's an early test now for David James. Free kick to Croatia, far side the field, the left. Lots of blue shirts in the penalty area going forward. Zivkovic makes a late entry into the area. In goes the free kick. Oh, and Zivkovic shoots, and it's turned in again. It's turned in the end for Croatia by Niko Kovac. Well, what do we say about set pieces? England didn't deal with it at all. Zivkovic went in, and then Niko Kovac got the rebound, and it's a disastrous start for England. The first set piece they've had to deal with, and Croatia lead by 1-0.
Well, I hate to say it, but that comes as a result of a David Beckham cock-up on the far side. It was a ball headed out by Gary Neville. David Beckham, with a lot more time than he thought, tried to play a left-foot pass to Gary Neville, went up in the air, in the end fouled Rapajic, and then came the free kick. 6 Croatian players in the box. England couldn't deal with it. David James, in the end, made a very good save from a snapshot. I'm not too sure from a Croatian forward, but there was Niko Kovac to put in the rebound. James, no chance. England 1-0 down.
It was Zivkovic who had the first effort, and the very first set piece that England have had to deal with, they conceded a goal, and that has been so much of a problem for them over the last 3 years, dealing with the free kicks. At least England have a lot of time to get back into this game. England 0, Croatia 1, and we haven't yet played 6 minutes. Long ball forward now, looking for Michael Owen, and of course the Croatians will gain so much confidence from having got that early strike. David Beckham made a mess of it. The one thing England mustn't do today is concede free kicks in those sorts of positions, and Croatia take full advantage, and England now are chasing the game. Croatia now working it short of the halfway line. Long ball forward looking for Perso, who's given offside, and it's a free kick to England. Well, it's a stunner. And England at the moment slipped to third place in the group, and of course will not qualify if it stays like this.
But I tell you what, from the free kick, I'm looking at that free kick line, the defensive line, 5-6 markers there marking Croatia. They just drifted right back in on top of David James in the 6-yard and on the 6-yard box. And if anything, the man who made the contact, I'm not too sure, it might have been Perso, who got the contact that David James saved. Actually struck the ball from about 7 yards out, which you cannot have. England have got to keep out of that back four.
Scholes takes over from Wayne Rooney, tries to flick it through to Michael Owen. The message was loud and clear before this game. The ball might break now to Rooney once more. And it's a goal kick to the man in yellow away to our left, Butina. Well, it was laid on the line to England going into this game. Croatia, as they showed particularly against France, are very, very dangerous from free kicks, which has been really England's Achilles heel, dealing with corners. I mean, so many times we've mentioned this in our commentaries, in all the friendly games in particular. England very rarely keeping clean sheets. And now all the Croatian fans, predominantly away to our left, are celebrating, but they may be still celebrating too soon. An England equaliser here, and they will still be on course for the quarter-finals. But England have it all to do, as now Ashley Cole crosses the halfway line. England need to regroup and show some composure. They'd started the game quite well. Scholes now, looking for Rooney, goes past the first defender. Still Rooney, onto Scholes in the area. Scholes is there, saved by the goalkeeper's legs, Butina. That was a chance for Scholes to score his first goal in 3 years. Beckham now needing to redeem himself in this game. Ball sent in from Steven Gerrard to the far post. Michael Owen heads it back. Rooney has a flash. Scholes has a go again. And Butina, who made an excellent save from Scholes, drops on the loose ball.
Well, that's what happens when the chance falls to an England player who's not very high on confidence. It was wonderful play from Wayne Rooney. It was Scholes that played the ball in field, dead centre, about 35 yards out to Rooney. He went past two players, dinked the ball into Scholes, who had made the run right to the heart of the Croatian defence. And Scholes' first time, his shot was straight at Butina's legs, and the ball rebounded to safety. But it's a good response from England. That's much better. In particular, Rooney getting on the ball and Scholes breaking from that midfield section. But England can't defend the way they did. They just dropped right back onto David James. You've got to keep out. You've got to try and keep as much distance as you can between the defenders and the goalkeeper.
At the moment, it's Charleroi revisited. England are going out, trailing 1-0, but they still have 82 minutes of this game left to get out of trouble here. Croatia lead through a goal from Niko Kovac, scored after 5 minutes. And you're listening to Sport on 5, BBC Radio 5 Live. England unquestionably looks stunned, having conceded that early goal. Perso now, who'll be joining Rangers, of course, next season, doesn't control it. And, of course, there are so many top defenders down there for Croatia. This is not going to be easy for England to break down the defence. We'll be hearing from Graham Taylor in a moment. In fact, as the ball is played back to the Croatian keeper, let's bring in Graham Taylor for his first thought. Graham?
In many respects, it's a good game to look at because England have responded well to going a goal down. But if there's anything we haven't done, you cannot afford to give careless free kicks away in the final third, and that's what resulted up to it. I think with Šiković coming in at the back, I think he's pushed on to Ashley Cole, and the ball has come off Ashley Cole for the reaction save by David James. But at the moment, the game is very open, and it really can go either way. But England need to get that goal to get themselves really back into this game.
Rosso up against Cole, up against Scholes as well. Scholes typically terrier-like, taking the ball off Rosso, and now it's Frank Lampard. England need to get back into the passing groove. And in the goal away to our right, of course, Beckham could have scored the penalty here 8 days ago, which would have effectively made England qualify. Now with 6 points, but it was Beckham's mistake which led to the free kick. Croatia punish England, and now their goalkeeper Butina, who's made one fine save from Scholes, clears, and Campbell gets up well against Perso. It's a decent response from England, having gone a goal behind. Lampard comes across, uses his chest well against Rosso. Lampard turns, gives the ball back to Cole. The game is being played at quite a pace here. Steven Gerrard now, 15 yards inside the Croatia half, going at great pace into the area, falls on the edge of the area. Referee Pierluigi Collina says no foul, no penalty, and has a passing word with one of the Croatian defenders, Tudor, and it's going to be a goal kick to Croatia. We played 11 minutes, and it's A terrible start here for England, trailing 1-0.
Yeah, it was a great bit of play by Steven Gerrard in terms of going at Tudor. Went past the Croatian midfield with great pace. He's very quick running with the ball as Steven Gerrard. Faced Tudor right on the edge of the box, pushed the ball past him, knew that he couldn't get the ball on the other side and just went to ground. That's why Tudor was saying to Kalina he should have been booked for simulation, but Kalina, as usual, got it right.
Not that they were going to, but England can't play for a draw now. But at least unlike 4 years ago, they've time to come back. When Romania got the winning goal, of course, 4 years ago, that was right at the end of the match. Croatia now with Robert Kovac, controlled by Sakota over on the far side. Ripajic against Beckham, and it's going to be a throw-in to Croatia, 15 yards or so inside the England half, over on the far side of the field. England 0, Croatia 1. One of the two Kovacs, Niko Kovac, who's primarily a defensive player in midfield. He has scored the goal here, punishing England from a set piece. England getting back behind the ball again now as Rosso with a header heads it straight to David James in the area away to our right.
Mike, I just think when it comes to a free kick like that, England bring everybody back, and that entitles Croatia and other teams to put a lot of men more forward into the box than they possibly would do. And I think on that occasion, Kovac went into the box. He probably wasn't designed or hadn't worked out that he was going to go into the box, but thought, well, there's nobody else to mark, I'll just go and take a chance, and obviously that paid off.
Gary Neville now down the right-hand side for England. 1-0 to Croatia. Gary Neville once more. England playing from right to left, having to go back into their own half to John Terry. Terry now to Gerrard, and England need to have a tempo here. Steven Gerrard rolls it across the halfway line to Lampard. Down the centre from Lampard now. Rooney receives from Michael Owen. No real shape though here about England. Scholes is the outlet near side the field in this unfamiliar left-sided position. Gets it into Lampard. Little dink ball from Lampard trying to find Ashley Cole. Cole on the edge of the area looking again to win a free kick. He gets up though quickly to retrieve the ball. Cole still has the possession. Steps over the ball and finds Lampard. Lampard towards Scholes. The ball bounces awkward for Scholes. And then Rooney with his right foot smashes it wide. And the goalkeeper comes charging out of his area to scream at his defenders.
Yeah, it's good play down the left-hand side from England, and I think Kalina's given the free kick against poor Scholes on the edge of the box, trying to take it past the defender as a handball, but good play by Ashley Cole deep in the Croatian back third, and good play by Lampard as well. Good cross to Scholes on the edge of the box. He cut it back on the edge of the box, but Scholes was deemed to have just handled the ball, but much better from Cole, and I'd like to see Ashley Cole get forward when the ball's down the left flank, and obviously Gary Neville when the ball's down the opposite flank.
Terry now jumping with the striker Perso. Gerrard controls the ball. Beckham's drifted in from that far side, and now England looking to cross the halfway line. Croatia give it away. They're not look that great in central midfield, I have to say, Croatia, as Gerrard now tries to take advantage. Rooney almost got that through to Gerrard. Croatia at full stretch. Always dangerous though on the counter-attack. Bring the ball to the centre circle, and it's lifted forward by Robert Kovac, but it's offside given over on the far side. And England have a free kick. I mean, England have had the bulk of the possession, Terry, but they're trailing.
Well, Gerrard's got forward particularly well, and they are vulnerable to a long ball over the top, Croatia. They do defend...
Weak header away by Croatia. Scholes lifts the ball in, looking for Rooney over on the far side. It's a really poor clearance by Croatia. Beckham now jumping with the defender. It's up in the air. It's too high, though, for Paul Scholes. And Croatia will thump it downfield, back inside the England half. Campbell has to be careful. Judges the back pass well. And let's get early news of the France-Switzerland game from Ian Brown.
It's still 0-0. France started well, but Zidane misfired from a beautiful pass by Pires. The Swiss, though, have come back into it, and there's just been a fine save by Barthez from a free kick by Hakan Yakin. 0-0.
Thank you, Ian. And Scholes was almost played in. Michael Owen then, but Tino, though, read the situation, comes out of goal and clears into the England half. Campbell wins the header. England still having the bulk of the possession. Lampard to Gary Neville. England 0, Croatia 1. We played exactly 15 minutes of the first half, and you're listening to Sport on 5, live from the Stadium of Light in Lisbon. Now Ashley Cole for England. Croatia inviting England onto them and then looking to counter-attack. Paul Scholes, near side of the field. Scholes to Rooney, who's gone very deep. Rooney trying to find Lampard. It was Zivkovic, though, in the way for Croatia. His pass forward, though, is easily read by Terry. And now Beckham needs to impose himself. Beckham luckily gets that forward to Rooney, surrounded by Croatian defenders. Comes back again to Beckham, driven ball in, takes a deflection, and the keeper, Bettina, will make a very comfortable save.
Well, I think all the England midfield players have got going except one man, that's David Beckham. He seems to be suffering from his mistake, which led to the opening goal from Croatia. He's not got on the ball in good areas, he's not wandered in from midfield, he's just sort of not going through the motions, but he's been conspicuous by his absence, and England need to look to him to try and get his long passing going, get his movement going, get into good areas where he can cross good balls, but at the moment he's not doing that.
It was such a loose bit of play by the England captain in the first place to concede the free kick, and that was punished and handed Croatia the initiative. But England overall the better side. Scholes now looking to try and release Michael Owen. Across comes Tudor, poor clearance by Tudor. Owen now needs support, he's got Beckham behind him. Defender comes in, Simonic, and that's going to be a free kick to England, wide on the right, and here's a chance now for David Beckham to atone for his error, because this is a free kick by the corner flag, the England right, and here's a chance for Campbell and Terry to go forward to try and get an equaliser. But England at the moment, if it stays like this, will not qualify for the quarter-finals. It's a free kick to England, Beckham to take it, and there are about half a dozen red shirts in the penalty area away to our left, including Terry and including Campbell. Owen, Lampard, of course, who scored from the free kick. In goes the free kick for England, headed away by Croatia. Gerrard looking to control it on the edge of the area. Beckham's available again down that right-hand side. Beckham's ball in to Gary Neville. Neville flicks the ball over the defender. Croatia will clear. And they're having to do that quite a bit at the moment. Ashley Cole's the only defender back inside the centre circle. The ball knocked forward by John Terry, who's now out of position, comes in with a lunging challenge, and Perso escapes from England defenders. He's got Sakota ahead of him. Rapaic coming forward too. England eventually closing down on Perso, but that was a dangerous counter-attack as Gerrard now looks to Rooney. Rooney goes wide to take it around the defenders. Gerrard says, give it back to me, but Scholes has it instead. Beckham's down the centre at the moment. Rooney, Owen ahead of him. Rooney into Owen, doesn't come back again to Rooney. Lampard can't claim it either, and now Croatia winning a free kick. Scholes going in on the goal scorer, Niko Kovac. Scholes has to be careful. He's on a yellow card and would be in danger of missing the quarter-final if England get there.
Yeah, I wouldn't think any Englishman now who's on the yellow card, and there are four of them, I think, would be really, really worried about getting another yellow card that would keep them out of the quarter-finals. As long as they got their country there, as long as they get England into that stage, and England are a goal away from being at that stage, but there's a long way to go in this match.
England having the bulk of the play but trailing as David Beckham concedes another free kick over on the far side of the field. And Beckham has stayed down as well. He's just speaking to the referee following that challenge. He's up on his feet again. We'll hear from Graham Taylor again in a moment. But this free kick is a little further out, fortunately, from England's point of view. Sakota and Perso, the danger men. James waits. Free kick is delivered into the area. Campbell challenging, and in the end Campbell will knock it out of the area to safety and finally tee it off to Ashley Cole. 19 minutes gone in the first half. England 0, Croatia 1. Stunning start here for Croatia. Goal after 5 minutes. Excellent ball now by Gerrard to Rooney. Now Beckham down the England right. Gary Neville's there to help him out. Beckham shuffles infield and picks out the unmarked Lampard inside the centre circle. Lampard to Ashley Cole. England are passing the ball around quite well, but they're trailing. Scholes looking to play a 1-2 with Ashley Cole. Wasn't particularly well returned by Scholes. And it's Niko Kovac, the goal scorer, who concedes a throw-in down this near side of the field. Quickly taken by England. Ashley Cole now into the area, looking for either Rooney or Owen. Wasn't a great ball in. It was cleared by Croatia. Perso heads it straight back to England. Croatia have given possession back quite easily here, far too easily from their point of view, but they have the lead. And it's all down to England. Gerrard skims the ball into Rooney. Rooney back to David Beckham. Beckham onto Lampard. Lampard shoots, doesn't really get hold of it. Bettina makes the save. Graham Taylor.
Well, I think England have played well since going down. I think they've been the more positive side. I think they're creating. They must keep playing exactly as they have been doing. And it's interesting to see Beckham has come in off that right-hand side now and again, which I like to see him doing to get himself involved in the game. If he's not getting a service, he's got to come off that right flank and get himself involved. So even though they're 1-0 down at the moment, I don't think we can ask much more of what England are doing.
One mistake in 20 minutes. One mistake by England has been punished here. And that's the sort of thing that tends to happen at this level. We'll go to Coimbra in a minute, where the France-Switzerland game is taking place. Just watching England now looking to try and feed Ashley Cole down this near side of the field. And Cole can't keep it in. Back to Ian Brown in Coimbra.
And it's the man who punished England, Zinedine Zidane, who's given France the lead after 20 minutes. France 1, Switzerland 0. A Pires corner and a header from Zidane with the goalkeeper Steele struggling off his line. France 1, Switzerland 0.
Thank you, Ian. At the moment then, France and Croatia are going to qualify from this group. France, as the group winners, would play Greece, and Croatia would take on the hosts Portugal in the quarter-finals. But we still have another 69 minutes of this game. The ball is with Croatia, with Perso the striker. England win it back, as they have done pretty well so far. Lampard can't find Rooney. England need better passing than that from midfield. And Croatia now short of the halfway line, with Rosso turning onto Niko Kovac, the goal scorer. Keeps the ball well. And Croatia having rare moments of possession here. Rosso crossed the field, looking for Simonic. Headed back to Robert Kovac. Now Croatia step inside the England half, and this is dangerous on the break, looking for Rapajic. David James comes out, needs to make the save, and he does, and then finds David Beckham over on the far side, the England right. Beckham hits a big long ball into the Croatia half. It won't clear Robert Kovac, though. England need better delivery than that from David Beckham, and it's a throw-in to England over on the far side as we move towards the halfway point of this disappointing first half now from an England point of view. Lampard goes down, but he hasn't won anything. It's going to be a throw to Croatia. Midway point then of the first half here in Lisbon. England 0, Croatia 1. We need a goal from Alan Green from England.
Well, there'll be a lot of very worried people listening back home. Beckham's not in the game at all. Lampard only marginally better than Beckham. Here's a free kick taken by Gerrard to Rooney. Back to Gerrard on the far side. Owens inside the D of the penalty area. He had his right arm aloft there, but the pass is shorter. Now it's back to Gerrard once more. This time he looks for Owen, but that wasn't a great ball from Steven Gerrard. Easily intercepted, and it's brought away now, and here's Rosso. The tall, muscular Rosso, playing right midfield. He's up over the halfway line, and he dinks it forward towards Sakotto, and that was well played in the end by John Terry, just for a half second. Terry, I thought he was going to make a mistake.
No, the ball just sat up nicely for him to head the ball into the left-back area and then clear the danger. But it has been, Graham Taylor's right, it's been all England so far, apart from that one goal. Croatia just coming back into it a little bit in terms of their passing.
Beckham robs the defender on the far side of the field, and then the defender got back in there. That was Simonic, and Simonic clears. Gary Neville tried to direct it back towards the Croatian box, but once more Croatia have it. Then Sakotto doesn't control that. Gerrard back to Terry, and here's Paul Scholes drifting in from the left flank. Scholes is inside the centre circle, finding Rooney. Back to Gerrard, and now Neville on the far side. Most of the play is inside the Croatian half, but there's no penetration from England. None at all so far in the opening 23.5 minutes. Gerrard comes forward, approaching the penalty there. Hits it in low. Rooney didn't quite anticipate that. It was headed away by Tudor, and England have it again. Neville to Beckham, and on to Gerrard, right in the penalty area, and Gerrard cleverly wins the corner.
Yeah, England keeping the ball well, and Croatia have got England's disease when it comes to keeping the ball, and they're giving the ball away to England very, very cheaply. England getting it back, no incision, but this time with Beckham's pass, they've got a corner.
Corner to the right, Beckham to take it, right-footed, dinked in high towards Terry, headed down by Campbell, punch clear by Bettina. Gerrard shoots, goals, takes a deflection, Rooney, oh, surely offside. But the flag is kept down anyway. Bettina has the ball.
I think he was onside there when the ball came through to him. He looked about 5 yards offside when the ball came through. Was it Gerrard who had the shot on the edge of the box? But it's better from England's point of view, the chance that they get a corner, they get a bit of a chance to get the ball into the box with a good delivery. But you sort of feel that with all this pressure and all this passing, yes, something may come, a chance may come. England had the chance with Scholes. Unfortunately for him, it was a good save from Bettina.
England losing, France winning, both by a goal to nil. At the moment, France and Croatia are going through to the quarterfinals in that order. Rapajic, whose free kick delivery led to the Croatian goal. That's another excellent ball forward. Sakotto in the penalty area, gets the shot on target, saved by James. That went a long, long way.
Well, not a good understanding between Campbell and Terry. Campbell not covering Terry on the diagonal, and Sakotto got in behind John Terry. His shot was weak, and luckily straight at David James. But the warning signs are there for England. As much as they want to push forward, they've got to keep the door closed at the back.
Gerrard swings the ball towards the left side. Good pass. Cole brings it down, perhaps a little awkwardly, and it's cleared to the halfway line. Campbell plays it forward again. Cole is onside, down the left flank. Crosses on the volley into the penalty. Rooney doesn't bring it down properly. Might run to Beckham. No, it's cleared by Zivkovic. Out of play for an England throw-in.
Just the final touch of Rooney. Great cross. Good ball from Campbell. Good cross from Cole into the middle of there. He run the penalty spot. Rooney miscontrolled it.
Gerrard swings the ball in towards Wayne Rooney. Good header away by Kovac. Forward by Gerrard again to Neville. Neville crosses, takes a deflection. Out comes Bettina, punches it clear with his right fist. Lampard's after it. Takes it down on his left thigh. Frank Lampard, 15 yards over the halfway line. Back it goes to Sol Campbell. Another goal in Coimbra. John Murray.
It's an equaliser for Switzerland. It's France 1, Switzerland 1, and it's Johan van Lanten, the 18-year-old, with a low shot from just inside the penalty area, past the outstretched leg of Fabian Barthez, and Wayne Rooney's record's gone. Johan van Lanten is now the youngest scorer in European Championship finals history. It's France 1, Switzerland 1.
So France, the holder, struggling a little bit, but frankly, who cares? If England can't win this game, they're losing the game.
They've got to score, England. They have to score. If they don't score, they're out of this competition. But something's coming. I can feel it, because the way that the momentum's going for England. Croatia looking a bit tired at times, trying to get men forward, trying to clear the ball. Don't clear the ball. England picking it up and pressing it well.
We've played nearly 27 minutes here on 5 Live. England 0, Croatia 1. The conditions could hardly be better. The temperature's very mild. The pitch is superb and the atmosphere is wonderful. So many England fans inside the stadium. Now there's a foul on Rooney.
Come on, David.
Thank you very much. We'll take that.
Come on, David. Now's an opportunity of tailor-made chance for David Beckham, slightly left of centre. How far out, Alan? 24, 25 yards?
If he could place the ball, he'd probably put it on this exact spot. Here's a chance for David Beckham, who's done next to nothing apart from the ricket that led to the free kick that led to the Croatian goal. But this is a very similar position from which he scored against Greece at Old Trafford. Do you remember that famous draw?
I think it's closer.
It felt like a win.
I think it's closer, David. Alan, I think it's closer.
27.5 minutes gone. England need to get back level here. Croatia have got simply everybody back defending in the penalty area. Bettina can't see a great deal here. Lots of blue shirts in front of him. Beckham in his red shirt, the England captain. England trailing 1-0. They need inspiration from the skipper. Here comes Beckham, right-footed, and he swirls it straight into the wall. Beckham heads it back in. No offside flag raised, and it was a weak free kick.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. There was about a 6-man wall there, and they're quite big, the Croatians, and able to block. I don't know if they jumped or not. Probably didn't have to.
I don't think they had to.
Because the ball struck the wall, but great expectation, didn't happen.
Ball's inside the centre circle with John Terry for England. England trailing Croatia by a goal to 0. France, the holders, being held by Switzerland. Here's Wayne Rooney, chipping it forward towards Michael Owen, but ahead of the Liverpool striker, and out comes Bettina in bright yellow to claim the ball.
It's just not happening for Michael Owen, isn't it? Just the ball's either just about a yard or 2 yards too long, it's running through, or it's short, it's just the wrong side of him. It's just not on the same wavelength. Whether Michael Owen's not on the same wavelength as England players, or they're just having that little bit of bad luck. But they're static defenders, big defenders from Croatia. Michael Owen will get a chance.
Here's Rapac running down the left side. Well played by Gary Neville, getting across, intercepting the intended pass, and it's played back by Neville to David James, and James, all in black tonight, swirls the clearance up over the halfway line. The Croatian fans might be outnumbered by about 4 or 5 to 1, but they're making a lot of noise. Wonderfully passionate support for Croatia, and their side is leading 1-0. But here's Gerrard for England, forward to Rooney. Scholes running through the middle. Rooney hasn't spotted him, plays it to the left, and here's Ashley Cole, the left fullback. It is encouraging that both Cole and Neville are getting into forward positions. Back to Lampard. We've played nearly half an hour here in Lisbon. Gerrard onto Lampard. Lampard didn't pick up the pass correctly, and then he fouled the Croatian player. It's a free kick to Croatia.
Yeah, just trying to play the 1-2 there with Gerrard. Lampard, the ball just squirting off his leg. Miscontrol, really, and fouling Kovac, I think it was, for Killian to get the free kick. But something's going to come. I mean, I just feel the way that it's just wave after wave of England attack. They have one breakthrough. Sokota had one breakthrough, one shot on James, but apart from that, it's been one-way traffic for England.
Well, they haven't had any penetration, Terry, well, apart from Scholes' effort.
Yeah, but they've had 1 or 2 good breaks near the box as well, and Rooney's coming off. Rooney's doing particularly well, turning and going at people. I'd like to see England get more midfield players forward if possible.
I wish I could share your optimism, but I've got a very bad feeling now about this game. Croatia leading 1-0. Rapac, we knew how good a delivery he had with his left foot from dead ball situations. Played back now, and here is Robert Kovac, and it's hit upfield, high beyond Sakuta, and one bounce, and it's through to David James, and James throws it out quickly to Ashley Cole. We played nearly 31 minutes in the Stadio de Luz, and England trail Croatia by a goal to nil. It's France 1, Switzerland 1 in Coimbra. Here's Ashley Cole. Cole into Rooney. Rooney's a long way out, 40 yards out. He tried to play it towards Beckham, but took a deflection, and Zivkovic, whose position in the centre of midfield, is surprised a lot. Should have cleared it. Picked up by Gerrard. Gerrard shoots. Was that deflected? Yes. Corner.
Yeah, good to see Steven Gerrard get hold of the ball. There was a great tackle from Gary Neville in the middle of the park. Gerrard just pushed Gary Neville aside to take the ball on. It was about 30 yards out, 25 yards out, slightly right of the centre. Ball deflected for a corner.
Beckham's corner from the right. Hit right-footed. Deep towards Lampard. Good defensive header away, and there must have been some pushing. And it's a free kick to Croatia. And Gerrard is driving England forward in a way that, notably, David Beckham isn't.
Well, he's getting forward, and Lampard is the one that's sitting. I still like, when the ball goes out to the fullbacks, I'd like both midfield players, Beckham and Scholes, to break forward. Try and take the midfield player away, try and occupy the fullbacks, and now Cole or Neville can play balls into strikers' feet, and in particular Rooney.
Graham?
Well, Gerrard's having a magnificent game. I mean, he really is leading on. But I have to say this, I think England are doing as much as we can expect of them. It's a very open game. But what we do know, Alan, the next goal is going to be vital in this particular match. But he has all the signs that there is going to be another goal.
Croatia play it forward, but that's too high for the new Rangers striker Perso. And it's allowed to trundle behind for a goal kick to England. We played 32 minutes in Lisbon, and the big video screen away in the far right-hand corner. Croatia 1, England 0. It's hit high upfield. Michael Owen is there, but can't glance the header out to Beckham as he should have done. And again, we talked before the game started about the big-name players for England. Beckham, Scholes, Owen, haven't done it yet. Here's Lampard. Lampard to Beckham. Rooney runs ahead. Beckham keeps the ball. Now he plays it to Wayne Rooney. Down the right flank. Rooney drills the ball in low towards Lampard. Well cleared. Beckham picks it up. Beckham can't do anything with it again. He's having an absolute stinker. The captain needs to get into this game. Never mind his worldwide reputation. What about world famous form? Here's Rooney into the penalty area. Rooney pulls it back. It's headed behind for a corner. Owen was waiting.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Gerrard and it's Rooney that's driving England forward. Lampard, I think, is doing particularly well in the middle of the park, knitting things together. But Beckham's doing nothing, and Owen's doing nothing at the moment. England need a bit of luck if they possibly can.
12 minutes to half-time. England trailing 1-0. Beckham corner. Again from the right. Deep, looking for Terry. Terry heads it into the 6-yard box, but there's some giants there in blue shirts, and there's an even taller man in the goalkeeper, Patina, and he gathered the ball very easily indeed. He throws it out to the right side in Simic. In it goes, and played on by Perso. Simic once more, the right fullback. He's deep inside England territory now. Back once more to Perso. Into Zivkovic, the captain of Croatia. Croatia leading 1-0. France 1, Switzerland 1 in Coimbra. At the moment, France and Croatia go through in that order. It's swung upfield, but that's a poor ball by Simunic, and that's how to play for an England throw-in. They don't have to be that adventurous at the moment, no. Croatia. They don't have to be.
No, but they have to win the match. And remember, one goal can change it. Very similar situation last night. The team that had to win went ahead. The team that only needed a point was behind and trying to force the match.
Good play by Lampard, finding Rooney. Owen's ahead of him. Not a great ball from Wayne Rooney. Robert Kovac is there. And here's now Zivkovic. Up towards the halfway line, and he checks, and Gerrard beats him. Gerrard with the aggression, finding Scholes. Great position for Michael Owen. Scholes' pass was wretched, absolutely wretched. Sorry, not good enough.
Well, he tried to dink it, he's dead centre, tried to dink it to Michael Owen. If he just passes it correctly, Michael Owen's in, but he overhit it by a mile. Possibly would better to have a shot himself.
Thrown in the far side to England. Gary Neville to take it. About 10 minutes left in the first half. Neville throws. Owen is there. Back to Neville. Lampard's available, and he crosses into the penalty. Rooney raises well, heads it goalwards, but in the end it was a fairly simple save for Patina.
You say about Steven Gerrard having a good game. I think Wayne Rooney's having a particularly good game as well, and they're
they're outstanding in terms of the England performance.
Well, he got across big defenders, got a header on target, but unfortunately never troubled the goalkeeper.
Rosso back to the goal scorer, Niko Kovac, and now Rosso once more, and he hits it across field to Rapajic. And Rapajic flicks it forward. That's going to bounce into the England box and straight through to David James. James throws it out to Gary Neville. A lot of anxious England fans inside the stadium, millions more listening back home. England 0, Croatia 1. Neville over the halfway line, hits it towards the left flank towards Scholes, doesn't get it right. There's a mistake by Russell. Well done, Ashley Cole, winning it back for England. Cole's also playing quite well. But here's Gerrard, who's leading the side at the moment, where Beckham's anonymous. Here's Rooney with Lampard ahead, and played it to Frank Lampard, right of the penalty, and Lampard wins. Oh, he thought it was a corner, maybe it wasn't in the end. Must have come off at the end. Come off Frank Lampard at the end, rather. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, I still like both fullbacks to get forward if they can. Whenever Croatia come forward with the ball, they're trying to hit their two strikers and overhitting the pass, not getting any service to the strikers. They're just giving possession away. All they're happy to do is just say, right, we're just going to defend this, very similar to what England tried to do in certain circumstances against France. But England's fullbacks have got to get further forward. They've got to drive on their midfield players, and sometimes lead 2 on 2 at the back if they feel they have to, but with a covering fullback to make it 3v2 just for safety's sake. But the fullbacks have got to get forward more.
We're not the only ones frustrated. There was a shot of Sven-Göran Eriksson with his head in hands. 9 minutes to half-time. Croatia lead 1-0. Perso steps away from Cole. He's midway inside England territory, but then Cole intercepts his pass, intended for Rosso. And here's Scholes, very deep, still 30 yards short of the halfway line, Paul Scholes. Finding John Terry. Terry to Beckham. Beckham right of the centre circle. Plays it into that circle to Scholes, who's down the left flank now. Ashley Cole is to move forward, but it's going down the right side to Neville. Neville left by Beckham, taken up by Rooney. Rooney well tackled. Lampard's in there as well. On it goes towards Rooney, and then taken away by Croatia, and they are defending well. Now it's with Sakota. Play to the right side in Perso. Perso back to Niko Kovac and Rosso. I think they're gaining in confidence, Croatia, all the time. Rapajic to the right side in Simic. It's a careful, controlled passing, and then it's dinked into the penalty. Terry was in trouble there just for a second. He broke away from Sakota and then almost mistimed his jump. It was cleared. Rosso picks it up though. Rosso to Perso, edge of the penalty area. Perso on his left foot. Good shot, good save by James.
Very similar sort of situation to where he scored against France, David Perso. Good save by James in the end.
Here comes Beckham. A roar from the England fans. Will the captain do something finally? Looking for Michael Owen. Overhits the pass, and that goes behind for a goal kick.
Great defending from Simic on the far post. The right back then just able to sort of give Michael Owen a little bit of a nudge. It was a good ball from David Beckham. Had Simic just been further tucked in towards his centre halves, it would have been the perfect ball, but Simic did well, just nudged Michael Owen, the ball going behind for a goal kick. But we've seen Perso there coming in from the right-hand side, similar to the goal he got against France. This time he didn't bullet the shot past the goalkeeper. It was well saved by David James, low down to his left.
Whatever possession England have had, all they've had goalwards was a Scholes shot that was blocked. Obviously Croatia have scored through Niko Kovac. They also had a Sakota chance, and that Perso shot that was well saved by David James. And they're not attacking really, you know. They've had 3 good chances, one of which they've taken. England concede another free kick. How often have we said over the last week or so, England mustn't concede free kicks? It's far too cheap. Well, cheaply they give away possession.
They've only had 1 clean sheet in 7 games, and that was against the Swiss last week. So, you know, England do give away sloppy goals. That really was a sloppy goal to give away, and it's not good at the start of the game after 5 or 6 minutes to go 1 down.
Rapajic crosses from the left-hand side. Campbell rises. He heads it away. Lampard heads it down. Scholes, good play, finding Lampard. Lampard, excellent pass forward to Owen. Better from England. Gerrard on the halfway line, left of the centre circle. Ashley Cole, ever willing, takes it up from Steven Gerrard. He's acting like the England captain at the moment. The proper captain with the armband is hardly in the game. Gerrard once more to Lampard. On towards Owen. Owen's onside. Shoots goalwards. Ready with a header. Scholes. Scholes is there to score for England. The flag stays down. And for the first time in over 3 years, Paul Scholes gets an international goal. And England are back level. Croatia won. England won. It started with Gerrard. It swept through the middle. Owen was there. Rooney was there. And Scholes finished it off.
Well, I'll tell you where it started from. It started from Ashley Cole in the left-back area. Great run down the left-hand side. Stretched the Croatian right side of their defence. Good ball inside to Gerrard. And Gerrard just opened himself up with an instep pass into Frank Lampard. Lampard digged the ball through to Michael Owen. The touch was heavy. It was well saved by Bettini, the goalkeeper. Rooney headed it goalwards, and there was Scholes I don't know how tall he is, but I tell you what, he didn't have to stoop to head it because the ball was right on his head and in the back of the net. We thought he might have been offside on the far post. The linesman kept his flag down. What a sensational goal from Paul Scholes, his first for over 3 years.
I don't care if it came off his backside. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that will make Paul Scholes feel so good, Graham Taylor.
Now, it was going to come. I mean, England's exactly what England deserve. From going down to such an early goal, I think they've shown great character. I think they've dominated the game, and they thoroughly deserve the equaliser. And what they must do now is continue playing the same as they have been for the start for all of this half.
Right, we've got less than 5 minutes to half-time. Both games in this Group B are level at 1-1 at the moment. France lead the group, England are in second place. I tell you what, there is a scenario opening up here, and let's not speak too soon, but if France are held by Switzerland and England win, dare we say it?
Greedy. For 1 minute you were worried about England.
Well, I tell you what, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to change my view. I think Beckham is a waste of space out there. Absolute waste of space. This guy has such publicity all around the world. When is he going to deliver?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's one of those ones. Graham Taylor felt it, so did I feel it as well, that it was going to come. Something was going to happen.
Be careful here, England, though. Here's Russell comes forward. He shoots, and it's well plucked from the air by David James.
They've got to see this half out now. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes towards half time. Just see it out. Don't get carried away. Keep the ball like they have. This is the best that England have kept the ball in the tournament. This is the best that England have kept the ball for quite some considerable time.
And thank goodness the fans have something to sing about. 3 minutes to half time here on Sport on 5 on BBC 5 Live. Scholes with the equaliser. Remember, Croatia have to win the game to prevent England going through. Here's Owen finding the goal scorer Scholes. Now to Beckham, good run by Gary Neville, but Beckham didn't look to where Neville had run. I mean, instinctively, he should have known that Neville was going to run that way, and he didn't. And here come Croatia, breaking forward. Sakota to the left-hand side in Rapajic. Rapajic tries to cross. It's blocked well by John Terry, and now it's taken up by Beckham. He's tripped by Rapajic, and that's going to be a free kick to England.
Yep, this is when I tell you what the ideal scenario is now. That we talk about Paul Scholes not scoring for so many years. It'd be nice now if Michael Owen was to get a goal and England were to go in front, but they just got to keep their heads now, just slow it down a little bit, see it out till half time, get some wise words from Sven-Göran Eriksson, get your heads clear, lads, because at the end of the day it's Croatia that have got to come out in the second half and get that second goal for them to win the match, for them to go through. The way that England are playing in that first half was excellent. I felt going forward, kept the ball well, didn't make many chances, you're right, Alan, but they still kept the ball well and still kept plugging away. Their heads didn't drop.
And do you know what my dearest wish is? That David Beckham rams my criticism back down my throat. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him play like a world-class player. England 1-1 with Croatia. France 1-1 with Switzerland. That's the situation in Group B as we approach half-time in the two games. Cole for England, finding Gerrard, who's had a wonderful first half. On to Scholes, into Lampard, now to Ashley Cole. Cole to Scholes once more. And Scholes flicks it back to Sol Campbell, who lets it skim off his chest to John Terry. And now David Beckham. Beckham on to Lampard. Owen makes the run. Lampard spots it. And then good header down by Michael Owen. Collected by Gerrard on the left side. In towards Owen again. Owen wasn't quite ready for that. And it's played away by Tudor. Taken up well by Cole. Gerrard back to Cole. Wasn't the greatest ball back by Steven Gerrard. Cole couldn't pick that up. And it's run away by Niko Kovac, who, remember, put Croatia in front in the 5th minute of the game. But Paul Scholes has equalised. And at the moment, we just take the draw. Any chance of the final whistle, Perluigi? No, we're not even at half-time. We've got to throw in to Croatia, near side of the field. And 1 minute of stoppage time has been allotted. Steve McLaren out in the technical area. He's shouting. Eriksson's not a shouter. McLaren certainly is. Now it's headed on by Rapajic, but there's no blue shirt after that, and David James has it. Remember in the game 4 years ago in Charleroi, England led Romania by 2-1 and lost 3-2. England have come from behind here tonight in Lisbon. Not a great ball from Gary Neville. Lampard couldn't pick that up. Now it's taken up by Sakota. Sakota with Persos through the centre. But it's in the centre circle now with Niko Kovac. And now Rosso who's moved towards the left side for a change. Zivkovic, the captain, onto Rapajic. Better spell from Croatia. Rapajic spins, he's moving toward the penalty area. Then his pass was intercepted by Gerrard. Lampard hacks it forward, and now Owen takes it up. Owen's got lots of room. Michael Owen has turned and he's moving towards the penalty area. Plays it back to Scholes. On to Owen again. Scholes once more. Here's a half chance for Rooney. Rooney shot! Into the net! Wayne Rooney! What a glorious goal! A glorious strike from the 18-year-old. His third goal of Euro 2004. And in a matter of minutes, England from being a goal down are 2-1 in front. Rooney from 30 yards. A cracking right foot shot. England 2, Croatia 1.
Well, it had to be that man Rooney. Whatever Zidane can do, Rooney can match as well. What a magnificent shot. Butina in goal, got a right hand to it, but he hit it with such power and such a bend on the ball as well. No goalkeeper would have saved that as well. Butina did well to get a hand to it. It might even have broken his hand. It was a wonderful strike. Great move from England. Good interplay between Scholes and Owen. Set Rooney up, slightly right of centre, 22, 23 yards out, and he smashed it into the back of the net. This is a scenario that we wanted, England to be ahead.
It's only a game and he's only 18 and he doesn't give a stuff who he's playing against. Rooney with that natural talent. And there's the half-time whistle. Perfect timing as well. And can I tell you that in Group B, as it stands at the moment, England are in first place, France are in second, and the half-time scoreline here in Lisbon is 2-1 to England.
Well, England have gone from third to first in 6 minutes in that group. Graham Taylor. Sorry, I almost took your shoulder off when Rooney scored.
That's the best they've played. They're playing very, very well. The thing is that when you do go a goal down, as they did, you get very nervous. These boys reacted so positively to that. The game had hardly started. They find themselves a goal down. They've passed the ball. They've moved it better than they have done in any of the other two games. They've created shooting opportunities, goal-scoring chances. They thoroughly deserve to be 2-1 in the lead. And you could see it coming. It was going to be a major surprise if it didn't come. They've played very, very well in this half.
David Beckham might have the armband, but Steven Gerrard's the captain on the field at the moment, isn't he?
Gerrard has been magnificent. He searched on as soon as they went down. The next thing that you saw was Gerrard going at the Croatian defence. He, Rooney, Ashley Cole, there's some good performances going out there. What we all suffer from at times when we're looking at a game is what the scoreline is at the present time. As I said, when we were 1-0 down, we were nervous that little bit. It's understandable. But those boys didn't show that. That's what has impressed me with them. They've really shown great character. They thoroughly deserve to be in the league. And there's been some good performances by a number of the England players.
I understand that you and Terry Butcher don't want us to go over the top about Wayne Rooney, but when people see the goal, they'll see his first touch wasn't very good, and yet he still manages to get the power and the accuracy on that shot.
Good movement by England, came in, took it to one side, and there was the power. The ball moved a great deal, but the boy, it's his third goal in the tournament. We're into only the third match. He's been absolutely first class, Rooney has, in this game, particularly with his mate Gerrard.
John Murray's in Coimbra. It's France against Switzerland. John, what's happening?
Well, I can tell you, Mark, that France have got a game on their hands here. It is 1-1 at half-time between France and Switzerland. Pires started superbly on the left for France, by the way, with Zidane in a more central floating role. Zidane it was who headed France into the lead, his third goal of these finals from a Pires corner from the right-hand side. That in the 20th minute of the match. France then really had a spell where they had Switzerland so stretched. They won 4 successive corners. Henry's missed a couple of headers, really good chances for him, but he's put one high and one wide. And the equaliser for Switzerland came 6 minutes after France had taken the lead. And it was scored by the 18-year-old Johan von Lonten, who plays for PSV Eindhoven. He's 18 years old. He's younger than Wayne Rooney, so he's now taken Rooney's record as the youngest ever scorer in a European Championship finals. And a good goal it was, well taken. Little ball through from Cabanas. Von Lanten turned inside the box and hit a low shot past the outstretched leg of Fabien Barthez. But it's a competitive game, and it is France 1, Switzerland 1 at half-time.
So at the moment, it's going to be England against Greece and Portugal against France. We thought it'd be England against Greece, but we thought because England would come second and Greece would win the group. But that, you know, there's still 45 minutes to go, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Mark Clements in the Legends Lounge at Goodison, where I suspect the roof has been taken off.
Whoa, yeah, they've only just shut up. We've got all the other legends chatting in the background there. Brian LeBone, Gordon West here, Derek Mountfield, but I've pulled out John Hunter because, John, you're a scout at the academy. My goodness gracious me. What kind of player have you uncovered here?
Well, it's a great thing for the academy, and it's a great advert. There they all go again.
Oh, there we go again in the background. Did you feel it was coming? I mean, what's your assessment of that?
No, well, he's always a threat, isn't he? When he gets the ball, he just sets everyone alight. He's a great friend, great person.
And he was really getting stuck in there as a provider as well. You know, his chance wasn't coming, but he was laying in one or two. He put Scholes in at one stage.
Yeah, and he's done great.
He's headed for the goal.
Yeah, and an assist. It's just as good as a goal, isn't it?
Can we hang on to this now, do you think?
I think we'll go 3 or 4 now, if he don't sit back.
Yeah, all right then, and I guess who they think will get it, Mark, I'll tell you as well. Incidentally, Baby Elephant, you and I were chatting about this on air the other day. I believe it's got some origins in China.
What, his nickname?
His nickname, Baby Elephant.
Yeah.
Actually, John's just going to quickly clarify that for us.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were. He was making as though he was. Baby Elephant is his nickname out in China, apparently.
Oh, and also I think one newspaper journalist likened him to the baby elephant on Blue Peter, because go around rampaging and causing trouble. Clem, thank you very much. Graham Taylor again here in Lisbon. England 2, Croatia 1, if you're just tuning in. I want to stick up for Michael Owen. I've been watching quite carefully, and he's not getting a lot of help, not getting much. They're trying to hit diagonal balls to him, long balls to him. They've got huge, great Hulk oak trees of centre halves. They're asking an awful lot of Michael Owen, who is looking busy this evening.
He is. He's looking much busier than he has done in the previous 2 games, and that's a good sign. And he was there then when the goal came for Scholes. I thought he was going to score, nick it over the keeper. He didn't quite get it. That's just how it's going for him, because any other time it would have been gone. Fortunately, it came back out, and Paul Scholes got the header to equalise. But I think Michael Owen has had a good game. I think a lot of the England players, I can't really turn round and say that everybody's had a real stinker. Yes, we'd like David Beckham to be involved more. We expect so much about him. But I think just generally, if we look at that performance, I think it's been very, very good. Just what England needed.
We've got the 7 or 8 out of 11 that you wanted, you needed before kick-off doing their bit.
I think so. I think, yeah, we've 7 or 8 who are playing well.
England 2, Croatia 1 at half-time. At the moment, England are going to through and win the group at the moment, because it's France 1, Switzerland 1. Time for the news on 5 Live.
Live news, live sport.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Mark. Good evening. The fireman from Kent, convicted of football violence in Portugal, has said he'll appeal. Gary Mann was jailed for 2 years, but a legal technicality means he won't serve his sentence here. The Home Secretary, David Blunkett, has said he will pursue the case against Mr Mann. Philippa Young reports.
The 46-year-old firefighter said he was nowhere near the riot, and CCTV evidence, which he claims would prove his whereabouts, has been destroyed. Gary Mann said he was beaten up by military police while he was on his way back to his hotel. The Fair Trials Abroad organisation said what it called David Blunkett's diatribe that he wanted to nail Gary Mann showed the Home Secretary didn't know what he was talking about, and may mean a fair trial anywhere would be impossible.
2 England fans arrested during the disturbances in the Algarve have been banned from attending matches around the world for the next 3 years. The men from Barnsley arrived back in Britain yesterday after being deported. 3 British naval boats which entered Iranian territorial waters without permission have been seized. 8 crew members have been detained. British diplomats are trying to secure their release. Rail and tube workers are planning a 24-hour strike next Tuesday. The walkout over pay and pensions will cause massive disruption on the rail network and on the London Underground. And the referee of tonight's England match, Pierluigi Collina, is to get an honorary degree from the University of Hull next month. The award's in recognition of his outstanding contribution to football. Let's check on the roads tonight. On the M4 in Buckinghamshire, 1 lane blocked eastbound between junction 7 for Slough West and 6 for Slough because of an accident, and a Berkshire heavy rain making driving driving conditions difficult both ways at junction 10, that's Reading at the moment. In Northamptonshire, the A45 is closed northbound at junction 13 of the A14 at Thrapston for recovery of an overturned van. There are pretty long queues reported back from Wellingborough. Finally, the A84 in Stirlingshire is closed on Leaney Road at the Tulipan Crescent junction in Stirling. That's for emergency installation work. On the trains tonight, southeastern services subject to delays of up to 45 minutes after an earlier signalling problem at Newington. A reminder for you that after every England match this Euro 2004, you can get your chance to rate the team on the 5 Live website. Whether you think Rooney deserves 8 out of 10 or David James just 4, cast your vote and see if other listeners agree with you. Rate the England team throughout Euro 2004 on the 5 Live website at bbc.co.uk/5live.
Weekday mornings from 6.
A lack of leadership is allowing institutional racism to flourish in the National Health Service.
5 Live Breakfast.
We've joined forces with the Royal College of Nursing to set up a forum to drive the development of black and ethnic minority leadership.
With Nikki Campbell and Sheila Fogarty.
8 of the England football fans deported from Portugal will appear in court in West London after arriving back in Britain last night.
5 Live Breakfast.
I was on camera being battened by the police to move away. You know, I was batting around the back of legs and all that sort of stuff. My family all saw that on TV.
Some of the police said to us, maybe you haven't done anything, but you pay for your English friends.
Weekday mornings from 6 on the Euro 2004 station, 5 Live.
And this is Mark Pugac in the Estadio da Luz in Lisbon. It's all turned around, thankfully, so far. England 2, Croatia 1 at half-time. Scholes and Rooney in the last 5 minutes of the first half after England went 1 down to a goal after 5 minutes from Niko Kovac. Now it's been the opening day at Wimbledon. Alistair Eakin can round it all up.
Thanks very much, Mark. The men's defending champion Roger Federer dropped just 6 games today in brushing aside Britain's Alex Bogdanovic. Fellow Brit Arvind Palmer didn't survive either. He lost 3 tiebreaks to Gilles Elsenier of Belgium. But the 2001 champion made a stunning return to the lawns of SW19. Injury had prevented Goran Ivanisevic from playing here since winning the title 3 years ago, but he enjoyed a straight sets win over the 31st seed Mikhail Yuzhny.
That was worth it for these 2 years, struggling, doing therapy, all kind of therapy, being up and down, thinking to stop, but it was worth it. It was worth it to fight and come back and be today on the center court.
2001-2002 champion Leighton Hewitt is through after a straight sets victory over Jurgen Melzer of Austria, but the man who knocked out Hewitt in the first round last year, Ivo Karlovic of Croatia, struck again, ousting the number 13 seed Paradorn Srikapan of Thailand in 4 sets. The number 29 seed Nicholas Kiefer was beaten by the former Australian Open champion Thomas Johansson. The 6th seed Juan Carlos Ferrero and the 10th seed Sébastien Grosjean both came through. In the women's singles, no question about the headline grabber, 47-year-old Martina Navratilova, the 9 times champion who hadn't played a singles here for 10 years. She lost just 1 game in dispatching Catalina Castaño of Colombia and feels she justified her entry.
Playing tennis is for the fans. It's not for anyone else. It's for the people to enjoy it, and of course for the players to enjoy it. If we don't enjoy it, there's a problem. That's a game. People forget that. This is a game. People take it too seriously.
And Navratilova's next opponent will be Gisela Dulko of Argentina, who knocked her out of the French Open, and today accounted for the 23rd seed Jelena Dokic. The 2 times former champion Venus Williams is through, as are the French Open champion Anastasia Miskina, Lindsay Davenport, Maria Sharapova and Alicia Molik. 2 British women have made it through to the second round as well. And Kyoto Fong and Emily Webley-Smith were both straight sets winners. Amanda Janes lost in 3 to the 11th seed Ai Sugiyama of Japan.
Alistair, thank you very much indeed. Been a pretty miserable day for the cricketers today in the Frizell County Championship. Just 1 positive result for Johnny Saunders to tell us about.
Second division leaders Nottinghamshire beat Derbyshire by 10 wickets at Trent Bridge. Derbyshire all out for 355 in their second innings following on. Charlie Schreck with 6 for 103. It meant Nottinghamshire only needed 24 for victory. They got there without losing a wicket. There was a very close game at the Oval where Gloucestershire's tail managed to hold on against Surrey. They finished in their second innings on 255 for 9, a lead of just 25. So that match was drawn, as were all the others. First division leaders Warwickshire got to 124 for 2 in their second innings against Lancashire Nottinghamshire at Stratford, an overall lead of 115. At Lords, Worcestershire were all out for 399 in their first innings against Middlesex. Play finished for the day with Middlesex 8 for 1 in their second innings. And at Headingley, Yorkshire were all out in their first innings for 283 in response to Leicestershire's 289 all out.
Let's have a word with Terry Butcher then. Terry, England were 2-1 up at half-time against Romania. We should just strike a word of caution. Anything can happen.
Yes, it can do, but nerves will obviously play a part in the second half. But I think Romania are a better team than Croatia at the time. And this is a better England team than it was 4 years ago as well. So, I mean, it's great. They've got great character. To go a goal down that early, 6 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, they showed a lot of great character. Got the Scholes chance just after that as well, which obviously lifted England, lifted the players. And then after that, it was just one-way traffic. There have been signs that Croatia can get back into the game with the two strikers who have got good movement, but they aren't being supported well by a midfield that really have been overrun in the first half. This is the best England have played for quite some considerable time, I feel. They're showing confidence, they're showing a great attitude. When they lose the ball, they go and press it well as a unit. Yeah, David Beckham's not playing particularly well, but the rest of the team are, and the rest of the team are up for it.
Ivica Mornar of Portsmouth is warming up, a man mountain of a centre forward who very nearly scored against France in stoppage time. We may well be seeing him at half-time. Graham Taylor, to what extent of the fact that the England fullbacks have got forward more, particularly Ashley Cole, has been part of this much better England performance, do you think?
Well, they've needed to do, and I think Ashley Cole has had a good tournament, because with him not having an out-and-out midfield player in front of me, very rarely has somebody to play wide to and play himself in and get really behind the opposition defence. But he's kept coming. It's been big runs for him. And here's another one. I think he's played well in this tournament. I think he's playing very well tonight. And it is important that we use the full width of the pitch. And sometimes with Scholes going in, the only width we sometimes get from inside the opponent's half is with Ashley Cole or Gary Neville coming onto the ball, which they've both done well.
Terry, from your point of view, how do England look defensively, particularly at centre-half?
I think they look okay. It was just one long ball from the left-hand side, England's right-hand side. That's gone over the top of John Terry. I think it was Purcell that made the good break into the space where Sol Campbell should have been. They weren't covering each other particularly well on that occasion, and one ball through the middle cut England in half, and David James made a very, very good save. So the warning signs are there, but England have to defend as a unit and make sure that they defend as a first from the two strikers, midfield four, and then the back four, but they've got to be tighter. I just feel that it's just going to be lack of concentration and nerves now. That might cost England dear, but if they approach it with the same sort of spirit that they showed in the first half in particular, I mean, that's the most animated I've seen quite a few of the England players. And they won the ball back early. They passed it. Gerrard was inspirational. Rooney was inspirational as well, because he was coming off. He was I can't remember him really giving the ball away, because he's linking it well. He's beating players. He's taking people on, and even Steven Gerrard is taking people on as well. I think we might have a change here for Croatia as well in the second half.
Graham, a final word from you. If you're the England manager, would it be a fairly easy half-time team talk? Same again, boys.
Same again. Keep it going. Keep playing. Keep your passing. Keep you moving. Make sure you keep your concentration right. This side now has to score a couple of goals, doesn't it? Now, or that's only going to happen if Croatia play exceptionally well, or there's some real carelessness in the England defence.
Keep listening wherever you are. 606 Interactive with Mark Bright is coming up at 10 o'clock. The Croats are out. The England team aren't. And Mike Ingham, I have to tell you, was looking a bit down in the mouth like the rest of us at 1-0 down.
Well, it was a repeat of Shalwa. And it still could be. I still think England need another, but it did remind me a lot of the first half of Munich, actually, the way that they fell behind against Germany against the run of play, and then Gerrard propelled them back into action. Let's hope it's the same as Munich. The Croatian change brings on Mornar from Portsmouth, of course. He'll play down the right-hand side. One of the defenders, Robert Kovac, has been withdrawn, so Zivkovic will go into the back four. So he'll go into the position normally occupied by Robert Kovac. Mornar will play on the right, and Rosso moves in field. Croatia playing from right to left in this second half. Remember the late sting in the tail 8 days ago when France got those 2 goals, when England seemed to have the initiative. Well, just at the moment, Scholes has scored his first goal in 30 games, his first since, of course, the goal against Greece. And England, if everything stayed the way it is at the moment, would play Greece in the quarter-final and not Portugal. But there's a long way to go yet. France, remember, drawing 1-1 with Switzerland. Give you the lineups in a moment. It's now Purcell finds Mornar for the first time. Tall figure up against Ashley Cole. Decent ball in the area. It needs clearing by Gary Neville. Now, England concede a corner kick inside 40 seconds of the restart, the second half. And remember, we've been pointing out how fallible England have been from set pieces. Corner kick will be taken by the man who delivered the free kick, Rapaic. Rapaić's ball into the area, headed away and out of the area. Mornar will chase it over on the far side of the field. He won't get it. England then with David James, Gary Neville, John Terry, Sol Campbell and Ashley Cole. David Beckham, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard and Paul Scholes. At last a goal from him. Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen. 8 goals in 17 games from Wayne Rooney. The revised Croatian side now, Butina in goal. They have Simic, Zivkovic, Simonic and Tudor, the defenders, not quite in that order, as Croatia now look to try and build, and Rapaic just throws himself down on the edge of the area. England need to start the second half well. Rest of the Croatian side now, Mornar, Rosso, Niko Kovac the goal scorer, Rapaic, Perso and Sakota. Now Gerrard gives the ball to Rooney for the first time, and he's handball given against Zivkovic, the Croatian captain. The match brilliantly refereed as ever by Pierluigi Collina. Steven Gerrard now for England, looking to find Michael Owen. Away by Tudor, only as far as Scholes. Scholes drives it, doesn't really get hold of it. Keeper saves.
Well, his confidence should be sky high now. Paul Scholes, the first goal for 3 years, a big monkey off his back now, and coming onto the edge of the box here. The ball just knocked out by Tudor. He hit it, second touch he hit it, but low down to Bettina's right. Comfortable save.
England mustn't sit back though here. They must play to their strengths. They troubled Croatia with their spirit and the pressure that they applied after Croatia's shock start. The goal from Niko Kovac after 5 minutes, scrambled in following a free kick. Ashley Cole with an England throw-in over on the far side. Obviously, we'll keep you in touch with France and Switzerland throughout the second half. France went in front, Switzerland equalised. But it's far too premature at the moment to be talking about a likely quarter-final lineup. England in their red shirts have a throw-in over on the far side, thrown by Ashley Cole. Doesn't find Michael Owen, and Croatia now looking to try and counter-attack once more. Ball headed forward, Campbell's there, and the clearance by Cole, and the second half yet to really settle down. Gerrard steps in gigantically once more, and now England look for Beckham, and England look for a better performance from Beckham. Beckham up against Simonic down this near side of the field. Across comes the defender, and in fact Beckham really invited the challenge, and the challenge was duly applied. Throw to England near side the field. Gary Neville into Gerrard. If in doubt, give it to Gerrard. Back again to Beckham now. Near side the England right. Good running from Lampard. Lampard being held up on the edge of the area. Allowed though to turn by the defender. Lampard into Gerrard. Gerrard doesn't control it first time. Then heads the ball into the area towards Gary Neville. And England must make the Croatians defend here. They must pull them back inside their own half.
But it's good movement from England. There's good interplay down the right-hand side, and Gerrard was unlucky because Gary Neville made the run inside David Beckham into the penalty area, similar to the run that he made for the third goal against Switzerland, and Gerrard's pass not quite there.
Throw in to England, taken, and Michael Owen gets an awkward bounce. Croatia don't really clear it, and Gerrard now, he's played that behind Lampard, and this is always the danger now on the break. Mistake by Steven Gerrard, and cut out though by Cole. Otherwise Mornar would have threatened over on the far side. What an important header that was by Cole. Cole into Scholes, it's a bit short. Defender I thought came in on Scholes, but the referees played an advantage. Ashley Cole down the England left, finds Wayne Rooney. Rooney tries to drag the ball away from the defender. Great play from Rooney onto Scholes. Scholes shoots, keeper makes a bit of a meal of that one. Turns it away for a corner kick. Great reply from England. Corner to Beckham.
Yeah, great save as well, Bettina. It was a good shot again from Scholes on the edge of the box, dead centre, put it to the low to the keeper's right, and the keeper made a good double-handed save for a corner. But once again, Ashley Cole, great cover down there, got forward, 1-2 with Scholes, good ball inside, good shot from Scholes. In the end, Ashley Cole's vying with Gerrard and Rooney for man of the match so far.
Wonderful support for England. England 2, Croatia 1. England coming from behind. They don't have to win the game, remember. It's David Beckham with an England corner. Another goal would do nicely now for England. Beckham waits. In goes the corner kick for England, looking for Campbell, headed away by Croatia, and another corner near side. And we keep on mentioning, of course, the game 4 years ago, but I'm bound to say now, having seen Croatia for 50 minutes, this Croatian side are not a patch on the Romanian team who beat England in Charleroi. Beckham conserving in his energy. If England let this one slip now against this very moderate opposition, if they let 2 in now and don't at least get the draw that they need, there'll be no forgiving. Corner kick to England near side of the field. 2-1 they lead. Headed away by Croatia. Clearance not completed. Scholes is there waiting once more on the edge of the area. Scholes finds Gary Neville. Beckham's available. Neville finds Beckham. Terry stayed forward, and it goes towards Scholes. Headed away. Hit it back in again by John Terry it was who'd stayed forward. Croatia having real problems clearing. Gerrard doesn't control it first time. try to take the ball on without really controlling it. Croatia clear, and Campbell's back inside his own half to snatch it away from Perso.
Well, they've got 3 forwards virtually on the pitch now. Mornar of Portsmouth gone out to the right-hand side of midfield. He's very quick. He's the man that scored the consolation goal for Croatia at Portman Road in the friendly 3-1, and he's very, very quick. But Ashley Cole is quick as well, and Ashley Cole has defended magnificently well.
Well, there's an injury to the goalkeeper, Bettina, and so there's a chance with the physios coming on to have a look at him, to bring in Graham Taylor once more. We've had 6 minutes of the second half, Graham. Are you happy with the way England have started?
Yeah, the signs are they're going to continue doing what they did in the first half, and that's got to be good news for everybody. I mean, Terry has said, I also think that this is by far the best I've seen England play for a number of games now, irrespective of the opposition. They just have to be careful that they don't allow the Croatians to break at them. But now it's a question of keeping your tempo of the game. The heat isn't here. It's a lovely evening, smashing night to play football. So keep the tempo, keep your passing, keep you moving, and just keep doing what you're doing. I think Ashley Cole is having as good a game as I've seen him have in an England shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was saying recently that he still didn't think he'd really made it yet as an international footballer. He hadn't been happy with many of his performances. Well, he's blossoming at this tournament. Now, the goalkeeper's all right, but it's the usual emotional roller coaster watching England. They never do it simply, and the game continues, and Zivkovic hoists a long ball to the far side of the field. They can put it in the air to Mornar because he's got the height advantage over Ashley Cole. Tudor, the Juventus defender. Now Niko Kovac. Kovac looking for Mornar. Cole lets it run on, and he can let it run on because it's going to defeat Perso and David James, who handles stuff pretty well. I mean, the goal, of course, was a shocker, but everything that was thrown at him after that, he held on to.
Yeah, well, actually, the free kick when it came in, it came off Ashley Cole. I think David James was taken by surprise. It's like a point-blank save, really. Pushed the ball out past John Terry's legs, and there was Kovac to put it in the back of the net with no chance for David James, but he's handled the ball very well. He's made 1 or 2 saves low down, and he's done his job well.
7 minutes gone in the second half. You're listening to 5 Live. England 2, Croatia 1. France 1, Switzerland 1. And if the scores stay like that, then England will win the group, and they will play a quarter-final against Greece. It's a free kick to England, and noticeably they're taking a bit of time over it as well. Pierluigi Collina won't allow them to do that. Still Cole to take it. Ashley Cole now steadies himself and hits it long towards Rooney. Rooney's beaten in the air by Tudor. Croatia now looking to get going over on that far side of the field with Simic, but it's closed down on the halfway line by Lampard. Ashley Cole is needed once more. He's lost out now. Perso. Mornar's made the run down the right-hand side. It's gone back into the centre circle, though, and now Croatia move towards this near side of the field. Skimmed forward by Simic, looking for Mornar. Mornar will out-jump Ashley Cole, and there's danger here from Perso on the edge of the area. Throws himself down theatrically. Referee's happy. Rooney on the counter-attack. Owen trying to stay onside. Rooney's beaten the offside trap. Owen's going forward in the area. Hit it, Michael Owen, over the goalkeeper and just over the bar. Michael Owen could have done with that. What that would have done for Owen if he could have chipped it in the back of the net. Great play again by Wayne Rooney.
Well, that's what we wanted to see, a chance set up for Michael Owen by Wayne Rooney, because Owen has set up Rooney, well, one of Rooney's goals as well against Switzerland, but the compliment was reversed then. Michael Owen, if anything for me, didn't seem to have the confidence and the speed to take it on into the penalty area to go one-on-one versus the goalkeeper. He was pushed to the right-hand side and thought, well, I'm not going to blast it, I'm just going to chip the goalkeeper, but he put it about a foot over the bar.
That could have been his Munich moment. Now, controversially, Olic, the man who failed the drugs test but is still allowed to continue in this tournament, has come on, and I've no idea who's gone off.
Rapajic, is it Rapajic?
Rapajic has gone off, has he? Well, Olic, number 18, is on. England lead 2-1. Gerrard now again trying to beat the offside trap. Goalkeeper will get that, though, this time. Out comes Bettina. So Olic playing down this left-hand side of the field. Has got good pace, but wouldn't it be ironic if he played a major part now in this game, bearing in mind everything that happened around Rio Ferdinand. Don't forget, of course, a little later, as Croatia now build, and I'll give you that detail in a moment. We've a 606 interactive following this programme from 10 with Mark Bright and Mark Lawrenson. 0500 909 693. France 1, Switzerland 1, England 2, Croatia 1. England were behind after 5 minutes trailing to Niko Kovac's goal. They came back through Scholes and Rooney, and if only Michael Owen could have scored a third there. Now, lovely play from England. Rooney's back inside his own half, holds off the defender very easily. Rooney towards Beckham. Beckham steps over the ball and flicks it back to Gary Neville. England playing with confidence. Gary Neville, I thought, was held off by Olic. That's his first contribution since he came on. And we've played already 10 minutes of the second half. 2-1 to England. They could do with a third to really settle their nerves here. Gary Neville, again showing his experience, taking plenty of time over this free kick. Again, the drumbeat round the stadium for England. Oh, it's a terrible free kick from Gary Neville. Straight back to the Croatians. Olic now will be beaten for pace by Steven Gerrard, and it's Gary Neville again with quick feet at right back. Steven Gerrard thumps the ball rather aimlessly this time into the Croatian half. Beckham will apply the pressure on the defender Zivkovic. Zivkovic, who thinks he knows how to play Beckham because, of course, had the upper hand against him playing for Bayer Leverkusen when they got to the Champions League final. Throw into Croatia. Overall, though, they have been very much second best in this game. It'll be criminal now if England lose this one. Long ball now, and David James hasn't come for it, and Olic is all on his own down the left-hand side. Why didn't James come out? In it goes, right across the penalty area. Hesitation there by England as Niko Kovac collects over on the far side of the field. That was poor play by England. The ball is chipped into the area. Headed down, and a chance now maybe for Perso. Goes around the defender, it's blocked. Mornar's there. Flag is up over on the far side for offside. And that was fairly shambolic by England.
Well, there was just one long ball over the top into the right back area. Everybody expecting David James to come out. Gary Neville in particular. Everybody stopped. David James just retreated back onto his line. Olic took the ball down to the byline, crossed it. It wasn't cleared by England. It was missed by everybody towards the far post, and then the shot came in from Perso. It was blocked by John Terry and Sol Campbell diving out on the edge of the box. And the ball going through to David James, and Mornar was in an offside position. I just wonder as well with the Michael Owen miss. Remember that pivotal miss from David Beckham in the match against France in the penalty spot? It was when England needed to go 2 goals up. They didn't from David Beckham and were made to pay the penalty.
Well, that underlines why England need another, as Beckham misplaces the pass, but Rooney will turn it into a better one. Rooney looking just slightly overreaches Michael Owen with the ball into the area. The intention was right, but the final execution not. Well, Croatia, if they're given opportunities like that, can still punish England here. The ball over on the far side of the field. Now Rosso plays it down the right, and watch the marker in the area. In goes across, Campbell missed it. Gerrard is there to hoof it away into the centre circle. Rooney waiting for it to drop up against Zivkovic. Wants the free kick. Wayne Rooney now needs to calm down because the decision's been given against him, and Croatia move it forward quickly. Kovac, we can just call him Kovac now because there's only one Kovac on the pitch. Robert having been taken off at half-time. Now, where's the marking in midfield from England? This is Croatia encouraged by this. Mornar at the moment, it's off the pitch. It's Simonic. And England all getting now back behind the ball, apart from Michael Owen, who could have put this game beyond Croatia, but chipped the ball over the goalkeeper and over the bar. Croatia stab it forward into the area. The runner there is Olic. Danger here, certainly Olic and Perso together. Olic still inside the penalty area, up against Ashley Cole. The cross will come in from the right-hand side. James doesn't need to get across. Mornar, he's off the pitch, and he seems to be arguing with the Croatian bench down there. I don't know what his problem is, whether he's got some blood on his face or something, and they've told him to get off the pitch. Anyway, at the moment, Croatia are down to 10 men, and he seems to have a problem with his tongue. Maybe he's got a...
Yeah, it was David James, I think, and the collision with David James when he was offside, with the chance came in. That's just getting... It looked as though he's bit his tongue, or he's got a cut on his tongue, but...
The game is all about rhythm, though, and England mustn't lose the initiative here. With almost exactly an hour gone, nearly 2/3 of the game gone. England have a 2-1 lead. They could dearly do with another goal. Frank Lampard now. Support down the left from Ashley Cole. Rooney and Owen ahead of him. Lampard shoots. The ball might break to Owen. Goalkeeper's there. Lampard a bit selfish there. Yeah. He had other options around him, and he chose to ignore them.
There's good pressure from England. They've won the ball back. Good pressure.
Good play by Gerrard. Beckham. Rooney's waiting. Gerrard on the edge of the penalty area. 2-1 to England. Here's a chance. No, Rooney doesn't make real contact, and Owen was waiting behind him.
He was onside as well. 2 England players, Owen and Rooney, in the box then from Gerrard's cross. They've got to be careful. It's end-to-end stuff. It looks like Croatia are playing a 4-2-4 now. 4 forwards on the pitch then for them.
England don't want the game to open up too much here. 2-1 they lead. And they're just under half an hour away from a place in the quarter-finals. Long ball now trying to stretch the Croatians. Owen doesn't control it first time. Owen now up against 2 defenders, trying to get away from both of them. Gives it back into midfield to Lampard, 35 yards away from the Croatian goal. Rooney to Beckham, seemed a bit surprised to get that, David Beckham. Beckham turns, looks at goal, doesn't get the shot in. Rooney now trying to get it through for Lampard. England trying to walk the ball in here. They're just looking to try and walk it in. And now Mornar, who's come back on again, fleet-footed, breaks down the right-hand side into Perso. England need to mark up in midfield now. Here's a shot coming in from Rosso, easily saved by David James. And now once more Graham Taylor.
A very open game, this, going from end to end. Probably the most open game we've seen in the tournament. And from the spectators' point of view, if you're neutral, you'd think this is a very good game. From England's point of view, you'd just like to close it in a little bit and make sure you play it and keep it in the Croatian half more than we're doing at the present time. I'd like us to sustain our attacks as we were doing in the first half.
And for me now, with half an hour to go, this would have been the moment for Owen Hargreaves, had he been fit, or Nicky Butt. Mornar breaks again down the right-hand side, tries to cut the ball back. John Terry then was a double over with an injury inside the area, but then got to his feet very quickly.
His ankle, I think it's his left ankle. I think he twisted it. As he went out for a header, he headed the ball out to Ashley Cole, who made the mistake for Mornar to get in.
Well, he's hobbling.
John Terry went down. I think he's twisted his ankle.
Needs to get attention. The game continues, and John Terry needs to receive attention. Ball in the area, headed away by Cole. Lampard now to complete the clearance, and this is where, as Rooney tries to escape and is fouled. There's a yellow card here for somebody.
Simic.
Well, he is one of the few players in the Croatian side who's not on a yellow card. May not matter, of course, but England now could do with an Owen Hargreaves, if he was fully fit, or a Nicky Butt, just to come on and tighten up in midfield. Gary Neville signalling that John Terry has, I think he's signalling he's going to have to come off. We may have to have Ledley King in this game.
Yeah, Ledley King just going out to stretch his legs and warm up. They've got, I think, Phil Neville down there as well. Phil Neville won't go centre-half because I think Ledley King is an automatic replacement. Just have a look at John Terry, see how he's moving. Seems OK at the moment.
Well, the quarter-finals are in only 3 or 4 days' time, and it's silly if Terry's handicapped to keep him on the pitch. Ledley King didn't let anybody down when he played here against France. Still a lot of work for England to do. England leading by 2-1. Goal right at the end of the first half in added time from Wayne Rooney, following on from Paul Scholes' equaliser. Croatia, though, have shown that they can be dangerous. Certainly Mornar's made a difference since he came on with his powerful presence down the right. Robert Kovac now, along the field towards Mornar, and they're knocking it across to him, giving it to him in the air as well. Mornar taking on Ashley Cole. Cole sticking tight to Mornar. Mornar, in the end, wins the corner off the Arsenal left back. Corner to Croatia. Yeah. 63.5 minutes gone here.
Here we go with the set piece again. Good defending from Ashley Cole. Mornar one-on-one, just about on the byline. Good defending, concedes the corner, but England bring everybody back on corners. Why don't England leave at least 1 or 2 up to keep Croatian defenders back? Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Croatian players going into the box.
Gary Neville certainly made a sign that he thought John Terry was out of the game, but Terry's still in the penalty area as the corner kick is swung in deep, and England do clear it, but it's a rare break. And it's Rooney all on his own. He's trying to go from the halfway line. He was all on his own. There were no other options. Michael Owen couldn't join in over on the far side. And that was, well, Rooney almost went in on the goalkeeper there. Has to be very, very careful. What are you pointing at, Terry?
Yeah, Simic is limping. Simic was the one that came on and tackled Wayne Rooney. I think he might have twisted his ankle as well. Number 13, the right back. And the clearance almost shut down then by Wayne Rooney, but he looks lively. Just one run. England need just one run from Wayne Rooney to make it, or put it beyond doubt. Put it beyond doubt at 3-1. Game over, thanks very much. But it is very, very open at the moment. 4 forwards on, make it very, very open for Croatia. They've always got
that was 2 fouls there by Olic on Beckham. He apologised for the first, then he went and whacked him again 10 seconds later. Pierluigi Collina comes across the referee and gives Olic a last warning. England have taken the free kick very quickly. And it's Steven Gerrard trying to muscle his way through. Takes on too many defenders, though.
Good decision.
And the free kick is given, and we move towards the halfway point of this second half. Remember, France 1, Switzerland 1, 5 live, England 2, Croatia 1. Just at the moment, England are heading the group. They don't really mind where they finish, though. They just want to qualify for the first time overseas in this championship. Short free kick. Gerrard doesn't get it forward, though. Croatia looking to try and get out of their own half. It's a good ball to Zivkovic. Zivkovic plays it to the far side of the field, looking for Mornar, who's giving England a few problems. But he's just gone straight into Ashley Cole. And that's a free kick to England over on the far side of the field. That's an unfair confrontation physically, those two. They would have met before, of course, in the Premiership. Mornar, who's been at Portsmouth on loan from Anderlecht. and as Terry was saying, scored a goal against England way back in August at Portman Road. Little did we think that night in August, when England were beating Croatia 3-1, that they would meet again at this stage. We're going to have a change. Cernar, I think, is coming on in a moment.
Yep.
Number 8.
Yep, another change. They can't throw any more forwards on. They've got 4 on at the moment, but I think he's a right-side midfield player. But, I mean, the way that it is very, very open. England have got the sort of numerical advantage in midfield, but they're not making it count because Croatia are passing through England's midfield at will here.
England need to concentrate. Croatia, of course, had an excellent second half against France. And England have had problems in the second half in tournament football. Here now comes Robert Kovac. Knocks the ball back to Perso. Perso trying to set himself up. It's well blocked by Gary Neville. England need a third here. And then the anxiety would ease around the stadium. The ball's back inside the Croatian half. England have got everyone now back behind the ball. Croatia lay it wretchedly out of play. And now the change can be made. And it's going to be Simic, who, as Terry was saying, picked up an injury a few moments ago. Simic, who's been playing at right back. And he'll come off. And on comes Cernar. So that's the end of the changes from Croatia. Cernar plays in the Ukraine for Shakhtar Donetsk. England so close now to the quarter-finals. Rooney doesn't control it. And it's back with Tudor. Croatia, who just scraped into this event, of course, in the playoffs against Slovenia. England really shouldn't be having the problems that they've had here this evening. In terms of personnel on the pitch, they would appear to have an advantage, but of course they've got to make it pay. It's now Rooney controls it beautifully inside the centre circle. Owen's trying to stay onside. Owen back again to Rooney. Go on, Rooney, finish it off. Here's your opportunity. Rooney scores for England, and surely, for the first time in their history, they have reached the quarter-finals of the European Championship away from home. 4 years ago, it was disaster against Romania. Tonight, it's the right foot of Romania, and England surely are there.
Well, a fantastic finish from Wayne Rooney. He was ice cold when he was put through. One-on-one versus the goalkeeper, dead centre. He hit his shot from, I think, just outside the box. The goalkeeper went to his left, the shot went to his right, in the back of the net. There's no doubt as soon as it left his foot into the back of the net, that's the goal that England leaded. You look at some of the body language from the Croatian players here. I think it could be game over.
Well, I'm sorry, Greeny, but it's 1-1 now.
Yeah, I looked at the watch, you know, that was 22 minutes and 29 seconds. I don't care, Michael. Just so relieved. Rooney, the leading goal scorer in Euro 2004. 4 goals. Graham.
Let's make also, he's finished tremendously well there, kidded the goalkeeper, put it to the other side. But let's give credit to Michael Owen. He's been involved in 2 of the goals. There's been criticism for not scoring. I think he's been a good foil for Rooney.
Well, I think John Terry, who's involved in an England attack at the moment, might be coming off very shortly because Ledley King is about to come on. And logically, that would be for Terry. But you never know. I mean, Ledley King has been playing all season for Spurs in a defensive midfield position. But here comes Russo forward to Monar. Monar gets the cross in. It's a great one, too, and it's headed away by Gary Neville. That's behind for a corner, is it? Oh, it's maybe a goal kick. I'm not quite sure what happened there. You see, Terry?
Yeah, it's Paul. I think it's
actually
Paul Scholes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That Ledley King is a defensive midfield player, and he can just sit in front of the back four. Maybe Terry's problem is not so significant. Scholes comes off. It could easily have been David Beckham, actually.
Well, I'll tell you why. They got the signs that John Terry was okay because John Terry was sprinting up the left wing about 2 minutes ago.
Right.
In support of Michael Owen, in support of Wayne Rooney. I don't know what he was doing up there, but it was a good break from John Terry. He looks okay. He won't want to come off. And Ledley King goes right into the centre of midfield. Gerrard goes out to the left. Lampard in the middle with Ledley King. And obviously Beckham to the right.
England leading by 3-1. France are being held by Switzerland 1-1. And suddenly we're actually quite interested in that scoreline. But here it's played forward and down the left-hand side and overhit that pass by Lampard beyond Gerrard. And it's out of play for a throw-in to Croatia. And it's going to be another change too. Vassell is coming on
for Rooney.
For England.
Must be for Rooney.
Well, I think Michael Owen, having been substituted twice, I think psychologically now you leave Owen on, but who knows?
Yeah, but he's on a yellow card,
Yeah,
Wayne Rooney.
That's what I'm saying. You leave Michael Owen on. You don't take Owen off.
No, leave him on. He's doing well, Michael Owen. He's running the line. He's looking for gaps in behind that Croatian defence, and there are plenty now.
Beckham hits it upfield. That comes off Tudor. Almost falls for Owen, but it's cleared by Tudor. And then Gerrard wins it again, though his foot was a little high. And that is a free kick to Croatia. And here's the change.
Yep.
And it is Vassell for Rooney. Well, the only thing we're missing now tonight is a Michael Owen goal.
Exactly. That would be the icing on the cake if that was to happen. And hopefully Darius Vassell can provide Michael Owen with a goal the way that he provided Wayne Rooney with a goal against Switzerland.
Listen to the response of the England fans for Wayne Rooney, who gets the handshake from Beckham, applauds the response. Fabulous. Fabulous. 4 goals in Euro 2004 as an 18-year-old.
But Alan, how long have we waited for this performance from England? We waited a long while for this fluency. We talked about being fluid, the French one about being fluid. England have been very fluid tonight. They've been fantastic in terms of passing the ball and keeping the ball at half-time. They showed a 50% possession for England, which was unheard of in terms of recent England performances.
At the moment, England are topping the group. France are second. They're being held by the Swiss. There was a foul by Morner on Ledley King, and it's a free kick to England. And England have scored, 7 goals now? Is that right? Yep. 7 goals, 1 against France and 3 against both Switzerland and Croatia. James takes the free kick, high towards Vassell, headed away and cleared by Simunic to the halfway line. And Morner, who's played quite well since he's come on, plays it to the right-hand side. And now Purcell, moving in field, gets the ball to the right edge of the penalty area. Serna checks. Serna has got 2 England defenders across there. One of them, Ashley Cole, trips him, and it's a free kick. Despite the protests of Ashley Cole, it's a free kick to Croatia.
Yeah, this could be danger as well, because Serna went down very quickly. And I think any sort of challenge, and he is going to go down now, is a chance. We've got 7 players in the box here, and must defend as well.
Less than 18 minutes to go. England leading 3-1. Surely they can't lose from this situation. But it's a free kick to Croatia. 2 yards to the right of the penalty area. Played in. Goes a long way to send it in. And it's Tudor. Firm header in. Another poorly defended free kick for England. And James got nowhere near it. He had no chance. It's back to 3-2.
Here comes the anxiety. Here comes the worries again. It was a needlessly conceded free kick. It was flighted in well. And it was Tudor that got in at the far post. Unmarked on the far post, lots of bodies in there. His firm header, unsavable from David James' point of view, right in the top corner. Good free kick, good header. It's one of those roller coaster rides once more.
From the kickoff, here's Lampard towards Vassell down the right side, and Vassell chases after that. He can't keep it in play. It's a throw into Croatia. But do they believe in their heads that they can score twice more?
I don't think so. I looked at the body language after England scored the 3rd goal, and I didn't think so. But it may give them a bit of hope. England have got to sort this one out. 74 minutes of the match being played. The next 5 minutes, just make sure that they do contain it, keep the ball in the Croatian half.
I tell you what, there must have been a goal in Coimbra, because according to the group table that is flashed up in front of us, France are now back in first spot. So France must have taken the lead. John Murray.
They have. Thierry Henry's got his first goal of Euro 2004. Saha, who just come on, flickered it on a ball. Thierry Henry took it down and tucked it away, left-footed. Henry, the goal scorer. It's now France 2, Switzerland 1.
So France currently top the group. England is second, and Croatia are third. But remember, Croatia can still disturb England by winning this game. At the moment, it's England 3, Croatia 2. Come on, it's all set up for you, Michael. It's all set up for you to finish this off. Here's a good header away by Terry, finding Lampard. Lampard onto Gerrard inside the centre circle. Gerrard comes forward. Good tackle on Gerrard by Serna. And Serna finds Rosso on the far side. Fresh heart for Croatia. Monar comes forward. Monar crosses from the right, takes a deflection, running well, and then that was surely a handball. I thought a handball by Sakon inside the penalty area. Not given. Clear to the halfway line, but back come Croatia in their blue on the far side. Now Serna slides it forward towards Morner, intercepted by Ashley Cole. Cole to Owen, short of the halfway line, back to Ledley King. Vassell sprints through the middle. Gerrard has the ball. Gerrard tries to play to Vassell. Vassell surely he was offside.
Yeah,
but the linesman kept his flag down, and anyway, he didn't get it.
I think he was offside. Vassell knew he was offside, but Gerrard didn't have to play that ball through. Vassell wasn't right to receive it. Beckham was on for a ball just about 10 yards to his right-hand side. That's when England got to slow it down and keep the ball. Next 5 minutes, they must keep it if they can.
Less than a quarter of an hour to go. I'd like to say I'm not tense, but I am. Mona on the far side, who has played really well since coming on after half-time. Mona slips it infield to Rosso, 30 yards from goal. And now Niko Kovac, who scored the first goal, and his pass to the right was too high, even for the Everest build of Monar, and it's out of play for an England throw-in.
This is when England have got to really work their socks off. They've put a lot of effort into the match. 76 minutes of the match gone, but the next 5 minutes have got to be vital in terms of the shape of the team. England have only got 2 players really to mark in the midfield. They've got 4 players there. They've got to slide across and let the ball, if the ball does go out to the fullbacks of Croatia, then Beckham's got to go out, or Gerrard's got to go out on the other side. They've got to work hard now when we're not in possession of the ball.
I hardly need to tell you, listening to 5 live on the BBC. England 3, Croatia 2. It's hit upfield towards Vassell. I think he took his eye off the ball, and it bounced beyond him out of play for a throw-in. And don't forget, Interactive 606 follows this programme on 5 Live, and also BBC One's coverage of this game. From 10 o'clock, it'll be Mark Bright and Mark Lawrenson. 0500 909 693. Gary Neville heads the ball away. King should have headed further clear. Didn't. It's brought forward now. Edge of the penalty area. England beware. Sakota with a shot. A limp shot in the end. Easily saved by David James.
Yeah, it's very difficult when you've got 4 strikers to mark at the back. There's a back four, you're man for man. Anybody that disengages from the midfield, Croatia have a man over. That's why England have got to work hard going back.
Ledley King has the ball forward to Gerrard, and Gerrard on the volley clips it to the left-hand side. And Cole forward towards Gerrard again. Gerrard into the penalty. Gerrard, great run. Gerrard shot, blocked with the goalkeeper Bettina. Fantastic effort by Gerrard.
If he cuts it back, he's got Vassell, and he's also got Michael Owen for a tap-in. Good save by Bettina.
It's a terrific game, actually, if it wasn't so nervous. Here's Olic breaking forward down the left-hand side. Should he be still playing in the tournament? If he was in any other sport, he'd be banned for 2 years. Beckham, though, having taken up the ball after the challenge from Gary Neville. It's a great run forward by Daraz Vassell. Vassell checks. Where's Beckham? Come on, David. David takes up the ball now. Owen says, cross it to me. Instead, it's into Frank Lampard. 2 yards outside the penalty area. Lampard cuts in. Lampard shoots. And it's 4-2 for England. Frank Lampard makes absolutely certain. Well done. Left foot shot from 15 yards. England 4, Croatia 2.
It was a wonderful breakout of defence. The Croatian players having a go at a little bit of go at Kalina for not giving the free kick in the far right-hand corner. There was no free kick in the right-back area for England. England then progressed forward. Sven-Göran Eriksson's talking to Gary Neville now to say, I think just keep it, try and keep the ball, put it in the corners. Croatia looked dead and buried as far as their body language is concerned, but it was wonderful play from Frank Lampard. Beckham played the ball inside. Lampard then went in. Vassell was on his right shoulder to play the ball inside the box. Used Vassell as a dummy. Came inside on his left foot, and as soon as he hit the ball with his left foot, it was low down to Bettina's right. 4-2, that's the goal that takes England through.
You know, Sweden may have hit 5 against Bulgaria, but England are 2 goals clear in terms of the leading scores in the competition, Graham.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. I mean, I would say, can we all settle down now? But you really can't with this game, because if you were a neutral, you'd be saying, what a smashing game this is. To see this kind of attacking football by both sides at tournament level is very, very pleasing. And England have been a credit this evening. Yeah, we don't like it defensively, but generally they really have done well.
Monar gets the cross in, deep, header down towards goal, and just kept out by James. And anyway, there must have been some pushing. I think there was some pushing by Niko Kovac. All I've got to say at the moment is, come on, Switzerland.
Yeah, that's right.
What about an equaliser for Switzerland?
Exactly right, but it would be nice if that was to be the case. But I think England now will obviously play Greece.
No, they don't. They play Portugal.
They play Portugal, but they play Portugal here in the Stadium of Light.
Yep.
That's where they play them.
On Thursday. We'll work out the dates some other time, for goodness sake. Doesn't matter, just get through.
Just get through, but
just get through.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of the best England performances for quite some considerable time. I'm having to think back to when was the last, or when there was a better England performance. I mean, we're talking about Germany away, we're talking about Turkey at home. You know, there's been some great England displays, but this is one of the best.
Rosso to Mornar, and Mornar approaches the England penalty, plays it to the right, and Cerna's cross is poor. Well behind, towards the Croatian fans, who for the moment are silent. They've passionately supported their team throughout the evening. But we're just seeing a replay of Frank Lampard's goal, and he hit it very well left-footed. He scored so many goals in an attacking midfield role for Chelsea this season. His play demanded a place in the England starting lineup, and well, scores goals. That's his second of the tournament.
That's right, and it was a great shot. But Gerrard's gone out to the left-hand side. I still felt that Gerrard and Lampard, that partnership was very, very good. Ledley King's gone in there and doing a good job for England at the moment. But that partnership, that axis, is still a very strong one.
Here's Gerrard down the left, back to Ledley King. Lampard available, but King plays it to Cole, and Cole mishits that pass. It's out of play, and it's a throw-in. And they I'm not saying they're giving up, Croatia, but they know it's beyond them. They're not going to score 3 times in 8 minutes. England lead by 4 goals to 2, and Lampard trying to win the ball. He may have won a corner, has he? Yes, the linesman hadn't a clue, but Kalino's absolutely sure it's a corner. I mean, the linesman's glancing all over the place. Wakey.
Well, Kalino was only 60 yards away.
He knew. Corner taken short by Beckham to Lampard. Beckham again. Beckham, the one really huge disappointment tonight. Beckham in now towards Ledley King. King slides the pass forward to Lampard. Back to Beckham. Beckham, good pass to King once more. Into the penalty area. Vassell is there. Vassell spins away. Back to Ledley King. Takes it in. Owen's in there. So is the goalkeeper, Bettina. And Owen tried to win the ball, but Bettina has made an absolute meal of it. And Kalina will not be fooled.
No, I think the Croatian players know as well. Michael Owen's not that sort of player to go in and do goalkeepers. He doesn't do that. He just tried to nick the ball. Bettina came out. He's on his feet again. He just caught his knee, if anything, or that's what the goalkeeper's saying. It was one of those situations where Michael Owen's gone in with his feet high and then put his foot down when he knows he can't make the ball. Then all of a sudden the goalkeeper's writhing about on the floor.
I suspect the French are safe, but we'll no confirmation in a moment from John Murray. Here, England should be safe, and here is John Murray.
It is France 3, Switzerland 1. Thierry Henry scored again, a lovely goal. Took the ball, ran with it into the penalty area, and hit it low, right-footed past York Steele. So Henry, 1 becomes 2 for him at Euro 2004, and France lead Switzerland 3-1.
Sorry, John, I don't mean to steal your thunder, but this computer-generated table is so quick. We know immediately when a goal has been scored elsewhere. So France will win the group now. England will finish second. Gerrard into Vassell, he's offside, and it's a free kick to Croatia. Terry.
It's a bit ominous. Thierry Henry scoring 2 goals for the competition.
What about Wayne Rooney scoring 4?
Yeah, it's a bit ominous. It's a bit ominous for the French if they were to get into stride, but Rooney has been the player of the tournament so far, there's no doubt. Nedved has done well for the Czech Republic, but Wayne Rooney is magnificent. Substitution for England.
And here's another change. Owen Hargreaves, no, it can't be Owen Hargreaves, Phil Neville. We're talking about Phil Neville coming on for Frank Lampard. And Mike's just reminding me that Lampard is one of the England players on a yellow card. No point in risking anything silly in these remaining minutes. And remember, at the end of the group phase, the yellow cards that picked up in those 3 games will be just wiped clean. Only a suspension would be carried over into the quarter-finals.
I think, Alan, as well, they're the 3 England players that were on yellow cards. They were the outfield players. Scholes, Rooney and Lampard were the ones. And it's great to be able to take them off and be in that luxurious position of saying, well, we're through. Just take these players off. No problems now. The only other player
David James
had the yellow card was David James.
I think James actually has played very well. I don't blame him for any of the goals.
No.
Either of the goals.
No, he's made some crucial saves at crucial times.
Vassell comes forward for England, and Vassell steps away from the defender and another defender. Well played to Ras Vassell, and then he's rather crudely brought to the ground by Simjanic. Simjanic plays it back, and now knocked forward by Zivkovic. Zivkovic takes the return pass. We've got a little over 5 minutes to go. France leads Switzerland 3-1. England lead Croatia by 4 goals to 2. Ball is kept in play on the far side by Cerna. Cerna crosses right-footed towards the near post, and it's headed on by Campbell and knocked back into the penalty and into the 6-yard box by Croatia, and finally put behind by Gary Neville for a corner. I think both full-backs have played really well for England.
Yeah, they have. I think the whole back four has done well. I think they has. John Terry and Campbell have done well. Would have been nice to have kept a clean sheet, but it doesn't matter how you go through as long as you do.
Kovac to take the corner for Croatia in front of his own fans. played in deep. Out comes James. James stretched for the ball, didn't gather it first time. Here's Monar. Monar trying to turn under his left foot. Shot goalwards, palmed away by James. Purcell with a right foot shot, goal bound. Well saved, James.
Well, David James came amongst a whole group of bodies in towards the far post for the corner. It was one of the situations where possibly it might have been better to have punched the ball. He didn't. He dropped the ball, made one good save. The ball coming out to Purcell. Another good save, corner.
4.5 minutes to go. Kovac's corner is very deep this time towards the giant Monar, but headed away by Ledley King. Cerna has a chance to get the ball into the penalty area again on his left foot. It takes a deflection, goes away a long way, and then Neville heads it clear. And it's played towards the halfway line, and Zivkovic has to chase back, hoping that Patina, his goalkeeper, had shown, but Patina didn't, so it's played to the right instead. And Cerna with plenty of room, crosses low, edge of the England penalty area. Phil Neville is there, and Neville, oh, good clearance by Phil Neville. Owen, his first touch wasn't great, but he still has the ball, and he's got Ashley Cole in support, and Cole takes it off him. And now it's with Vassell on the far side, and Vassell, was he brought down there? The ball's out of play. It's going to be a throw into England.
I'm taking it back to 1990. England played at Wembley against Czechoslovakia. They won 4-2, and a certain Paul Gascoigne really exploded onto the world scene then. You remember that?
I do. What relevance is that? Wayne Rooney. I know exactly what you mean. Only teasing. Here's Sol Campbell, who's been outstanding in all 3 games for England, hasn't he, Campbell? And King takes it up for England to the far side in Vassell. Back to Ashley Cole, and Cole steps away from Purcell into Phil Neville. King, Cole, good football from England into Ledley King again, and now back to Beckham. King and Neville, great passing from England. Gary Neville forward to Gerrard. Gerrard in to Phil Neville. Wouldn't this be wonderful to finish it with a goal? Gerrard down the right-hand side. Owen and Vassell wait. The cross from Gerrard is slightly overhit. Owen hasn't given up on it. Rushes to the far side and then bundles over the defender. That's going to be a free kick.
I like that. I'd love to see that. Not foul's been given in the far corner, but Michael Owen chasing the ball. The cross was deep from Gerrard, going out towards the touchline for a throw-in. Owen didn't give it up. Went to challenge the defender. Yes, he gave away the free kick, but he's worked very hard, Michael Owen. Yes, he hasn't scored, but he's set up goals as well. That's your job. Yes, score goals, but if you can set goals up for your partners and for your other players as well, it's the team that matters. The team are going through in style tonight, which is fantastic to say.
Shooter, whose goal for Croatia gave us the quivers, but then Lampard putting in 2 goals clear again. England lead by 4 goals to 2. Defending at the moment, that's a good ball into the England penalty area. There seemed to be a handball by Sakota. It didn't matter because Neville played it back to James, Gary Neville that is, and the clearance goes to the halfway line. We've got 2 minutes to go, plus more than a little stoppage time, you feel. Number of substitutions in this second half. Purcell shoots from long range, and what a waste of space. High into the Croatian fans behind David James' goal. What about Beckham, Terry?
Yeah, he has been disappointing tonight. He hasn't really featured in the game in terms of his free kicks, in terms of his passing, and I just feel sometimes he just tuck across a bit more centrally when the play's on the other side to keep in contact with Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard, but he seems to be out on the right-hand side of midfield and sort of staying out there. Whether the instructions have been for him to stay out there, I'm not too sure, but he doesn't seem to take part in the game that much, which is unusual for David Beckham, because he needs to be not the fulcrum of England's play, but he needs to get on the ball a lot more.
There's a foul by Beckham on this occasion, and it's a free kick to Croatia, and Kovac wants Beckham booked. Let the referee do his job, will you, Nicky? Because Kalina knows exactly what this is all about. He's, again, refereed superbly. We're going to have 2 minutes of added time at the end of the game, which seems excessively mean in terms of the hold-ups in play. But we'll settle for that. Mona on the far side for Croatia, up over the edge of the England penalty. A step over from Monar, but he doesn't lose Cole. Now he turns it onto his left foot, and the cross is too deep. Gary Neville chases after to the right edge of this penalty area, and then fixing the ball over his left shoulder, out of play for a throw-in.
He's done well, Gary Neville, and all the back four have done very, very well. Exceptional defending at times.
Throw-in to Croatia. Launched into the England penalty area. Purcell rises, heads it on, might fall to Monar. He's chasing after the ball and he can't keep it in play. It's going to be a goal kick. France are beating Switzerland by 3-1. France will top Group B, and they will play Greece in the quarter-final in Lisbon on Friday night. England are going to finish second, and they will play Portugal in the Lisbon quarter-final on Thursday night. And how many minutes did he showed 3 in the end, did he?
Well, I did stick 2 fingers up at you, but...
well, maybe you weren't indicating how much time there was to go.
I thought it was 2 minutes, but it's 3.
All right, we're into it. I think that's actually right.
I'll stick 1 extra finger up now, should I?
Yeah, well, we've had 6 substitutions, so you're supposed to get 30 seconds per substitution.
Yes, but that's not an official rule. It's just an unofficial sort of guideline. I mean, if it was extra time,
not have an argument.
If it was extra time at the end of an England friendly, we'd have about 10 minutes extra time.
James hits the ball upfield. Vassell rises, heads it in towards Owen. Headed down by Tudor. Gerrard wins the ball. Owen waits. There's Owen. Owen into the penalty area. Can't make room for the shot. King's there. Owen once more. Chance for a fifth surely for England. Phil Neville, right edge of the penalty area. Crosses towards Vassell. It's headed down. Beckham, he wants to get room for the shot. Doesn't get it. Now it's played towards Gerrard down the left-hand side. Phil Neville's pass is out of play. There was a chance for Owen there. By the way, France have won 3-1.
It's just excruciating, isn't it? You just want it to be on a plate. It's going to have to be on a plate for Michael Owen. It's going to have to be an open goal for him to score, but that would be the icing on the cake. I think time's running out for him now, though.
We played 1.5 minutes of the allotted 3 minutes, and unlike Charleroi, when we were as depressed can be, England heading for the last 8 of the European Championship here in Portugal 2004. Free kick goes to Croatia. A little over a minute to go of stoppage time. And now Russo plays the ball into the England penalty area. James keeps it in play.
It's history, isn't it, Alan? The first time
overseas.
Time
away from home.
Yeah, first time overseas. They're doing it in some style, although they were having a few scary moments, but it's been a wonderful performance. It's been a great collective team performance. 1 or 2 individuals not quite living up to their reputations, but it's the team that matters. It's the way that the team gets through, and particularly in going a goal down. Great character, great style, driven on by Gerrard, driven on by Rooney in particular. Ashley Cole has been phenomenal at left back as well. It's been a great performance from England in terms of passing. The possession's been fantastic. The pressing and the pressure on Croatia has been fantastic as well. And when they've had opportunities, they've taken the goals as well. But England could have scored about 8 goals tonight.
Neville to Beckham, and Beckham into Vassell. Vassell just outside the penalty. Vassell flicks the ball beyond Tudor, but then it's cleared and it's out of play, and it's going to be a throw into England. We've got about 20 seconds to go. Beckham to take the throw for England to Phil Neville. Back to Beckham, and Beckham crosses deep, forcing Gerrard to retreat, and Gerrard stretches, but he can't keep that ball in play, and it will be a throw into Croatia. I hate to have any downer on the night, especially a night when England went 4-2, but Beckham has been poor, really poor. Is that the final whistle? I can hardly hear it from Kalina's lips, but it's all over, and the flashbulbs go off around the Estadio de Luz, and England are through to the quarterfinals. They've beaten Croatia by 4-2, and let's salute Wayne Rooney. 2 goals tonight, 4 goals for the tournament, the leading scorer in Portugal 2004.
We'll speak to Terry Butcher and Graham Taylor shortly, but let's go straight to the Switzerland-France game, get all the details on that French win from John Murray.
Well, France have beaten Switzerland by 3-1, so France through, as you say, as group winners. Switzerland going home with just the 1 point, but they certainly provided a test here for the defending champions. Zidane headed France in front in the 20th minute from a Pires corner, but 6 minutes later, Johan von Lanten equalised, and in the process broke Wayne Rooney's record of being the youngest scorer in European Championship finals history. He's younger than Rooney, he's 18 as well. And when it was 1-1, the Swiss, goodness me, they were tenacious, but eventually the French pressure in the second half paid off, and I suppose eventually Thierry Henry has struck at Euro 2004. Zaha, who'd just come on, flicked the ball through. Henry took it down with his right foot, finished it beautifully with his left. That was 2-1 to France, and then another late goal from Henry after he ran at the Swiss defence to hit it low past George Steele. So it is finished. France 3, Switzerland 1, and France group winners.
France, the group winners, to play Greece on Friday at the José Alvalade, and on Thursday before that, Graham Taylor, England against Portugal. That is going to be some occasion. But if England played like they did this evening, then England have an even money chance, surely.
Oh, they have. And, I mean, you're playing the host country, so that in itself means this is another game now that you really have to be ready for. They've got a day less to do it, but quite honestly, Mark, looking at their performance today, then it takes them on. You know, when you play as you have done today and got the win, then it takes your confidence that other stage higher. So they'll be ready for that game against Portugal, no doubt.
One of the supporters has just held up a life-size cardboard cutout of Wayne Rooney with a crown on his head. I know you don't want us to go over the top, and we understand everything you've been preaching, but it's hard for people who love their football and follow their football not to get completely enthused about what Wayne Rooney has done during this championship.
We've every right to be. All I'm saying about not going over the top is off the pitch. On the pitch, this, as I've said, is an 18-year-old boy playing like a man. This is a top footballer on the pitch, and that's where we hope that he'll always show what he's capable of doing. All my concern is all the time, because of what comes of what he does on the pitch, will he be looked after properly off the pitch?
Terry, what's the difference between England's performance this evening and the rather stuttering opening two performances we've seen from them out here?
Well, I think with that early goal, if anything, it galvanised England more than anything else. And what England were faced with, the reality of saying, well, we're going to go home. If we don't score a goal here, you know, if we don't buck our ideas up, we are going to go home against what seemed to be a very confident Croatian team. But they knuckled down, they passed the ball better. When they lost the ball, they won it back very quickly by pressing the ball together as a midfield, as strikers, as defenders, and then kept it better after that. England kept the ball better tonight than I've seen them do for a long, long time. And by keeping the ball and switching the play to the opposite fullbacks, and by spreading the play as well and turning Croatia around, it made Croatia work. And when Croatia won the ball, they gave it away, or England won it back very quickly. That was the key. But they were driven by Gerrard, they were driven by Rooney, they were driven by a hunger and a fear of going out. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes a team can score too early in terms of Croatia, which they did, but it certainly galvanised England.
We'll speak more to Terry and Graham. Let's hear what they made of it in the Goodison Room of Legends. They'd have enjoyed their evening there along with Mark Clement.
Yeah, we did say this was the place to be tonight, didn't we? 150 Rooney lovers whooping and hollering their boys every touch. But as England fans, I guess we're not used to nights like this. The national team doing exactly what we all hope. And with a couple of Everton proper legends. Brian LeBon from the 60s, Derek Mountfield from the 80s. Brian, this boy of yours, I know you see him week in, week out. He delivers.
It's a fairy tale, isn't it? To go on there and do what he's done today, you know. I was always confident England would win even when we were one down, but that's the best football I think we played throughout the first two halves, you know, but he's unbelievable. Give him a chance and he puts it in. And he made the first one for Scholes as well, you know, so he's a star.
Has he shocked you?
Well, I suppose he has doing it. He's done it every game now, hasn't he? But when I first saw him as a schoolboy 3 years ago, you can just see there's a fella touched with magic. And if he's not worth £50 million now, or probably more, never mind bloody never mind United and Chelsea. What about Real Madrid?
A quick word with Derek Mountfield. I mean, I get there's an air of expectancy that he might just go here, that the debts need clearing. I get the impression the fans suspect he might just go.
We hope he doesn't. We're all well aware that he is the hottest property in Europe at the moment, and the last two games he's proved what a fantastic player he is. But we've got to be realistic Everton fans. We can't afford to keep him, we can't keep him, but deep down we want him to stay. We want Everton to build a team around Wayne Rooney. We've seen tonight over 3 games in Europe how good he is. We want him to stay here.
Thanks, fellas. Mark, enjoyed the night. It's been good fun.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed, Mark. We'll speak to Alan Kirbishley in a moment, but I do want to ask Graham Taylor about, if you like, the one black spot of the England performance this evening. And I said to you midway through the second half, David Beckham looks like he's running in treacle. He looks so laboured. We saw him going down the right-hand side here. What's wrong?
He looks tired. I mean, and I'm sure he is tired. And I wouldn't want to go too much into this, because really it is at the end of the day what he does on the football pitch. But you know, in the last year, the move to Real Madrid, the moving away from Manchester, all of the publicity, I honestly do believe you have to be an amazing fella if that does not have an effect, if that does not drag you somewhere along that. And to me, the performances that we've seen so far are of a tired footballer. Not someone who's not committed, not someone who doesn't care, but someone who looks
physically
tired.
And mentally.
Physically and mentally, he looks tired.
Terry?
He didn't look sharp tonight, did he? Didn't look sharp at all. And the mistake that he made for the goal as well, there was a sloppy pass with his left foot when he could have turned and could have, even if he executes the pass properly, it still goes to Gary Neville, but he didn't, and then gave away the free kick that led to the first goal. It's not his fault in terms of the goal, but what it did give, it gave Croatia an opportunity to get a good ball into the box, which England didn't defend very well. But you know, Beckham, he doesn't look sharp. He looks a bit jaded. He looks
half the speed of Steven Gerrard. That's what I said to Graham.
Yeah, but
you see how Gerrard moves, and Beckham seems to be moving at half the pace.
Bear in mind, he's playing in a position now which he doesn't play week in, week out anyway with Real Madrid. He plays inside, And you know, we're not trying to make excuses for David Beckham. I'm trying to say, well, why didn't he play well? Or you know, why does he look that way? You know, perhaps I think Graham's right in what he says, but it might be a combination of factors that he's not performing. You know, I think, but he's a player that, you know, at the end of the day, you're never going to leave out of the team, obviously. But he's a player that, if England are to progress and go all the way in this competition, he has to start to play.
And if people think we're picking holes and think, oh, you shouldn't be picking holes this evening, it's because England are going to have to be at their very best. I know you've talked about 7 or 8 out of 11, but it may have to be 11 out of 11 when you're getting to the sharp end of a championship like this. That's why we're having this conversation now.
We're not picking holes. What we are trying to say is that we know that David Beckham can play a lot better than he is doing. What do we think the reason is? What I will say is, however much experience you have of a player, you still need an arm round you. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're 29, whatever David is, all the experience he has behind him, he'll know that it's not playing as well as he could do, so he needs some support.
Let's have a word with Alan Kirbishley, the Charlton manager, who saw France beat Switzerland 3-1 this evening, so France have won that group. Alan, was that more like it from France, particularly in the second half, the sort of thing we've come to expect from them?
Yeah, it was probably the right result and probably the right scoreline, but Switzerland made it very, very difficult for France here tonight, and especially when they got back to 1-1. But in the end, the class told. I think that every time France got in the Switzerland defensive third, they looked like they was going to score, especially Henry. And unfortunately for Switzerland, every time they went down the other end, they sort of run out of steam and gave the ball away. So it was always going to come back, and I think it was just a question whether France would get the second goal, and then how many goals would they get.
Robert Pires complained earlier in the week, Alan, that the way France were playing was suffocating Thierry Henry. Did he appear to have a little bit more latitude, a little bit more the freedom he likes?
Well, it was quite interesting because they started the game off with Pires on the left and Zidane on the right of midfield, and Pires started off like a house on fire. He looked really back to form and really comfortable and happy, and Henry kept drifting out wide left, and he kept picking the balls up and being direct like he does for Arsenal. But what happened was Zidane wouldn't stay on the right hand side. He kept drifting around, and in all fairness, it was causing France a problem. A better side, and I think, you know, if you analyse the French performances, I think it's going to give the rest of the teams left in the quarterfinals some hope that they can be got at, because the right hand side for France, they're not comfortable. Zidane won't stay there, and the left back for Switzerland kept overlapping, and you know, against a better team they'll cause more problems. They'll cause the French more problems. But I think the one thing that has happened tonight, and I know that Graham and yourselves have been talking about Michael Owen, and you know, does he need it? He needs a goal to get his confidence back and to give him a big lift. Henry got his goals and he looked back. He looked as if he gained an extra yard. No, he gained an extra 2 yards after he scored his first goal, and he was in full flow again.
Beware the Greek defenders. One final thing then, Alan, from your game. What about defensively? We talked a lot about the way that Santini went into this match with no Desailly and no Gallas. How do they look defensively?
Well, they did look a bit jittery, especially for the goal. Silvestri gave the ball away, a simple square pass, and he gave it away, and the Swiss broke and scored. But they've lost both fullbacks tonight, I think. I think Sangol went off in the first half with a bad arm. I think he injured his arm, and Gallas replaced him, and he went off as well with a twisted ankle. So they've got 1 or 2 problems themselves defensively. I think if you're looking at the game, and obviously the teams that are going to be playing them will analyse it, I think the way they're defending at the moment is giving you a little bit of hope that you can get at them.
And Alan, when you see the video of this game, you'll be very pleased, I think, most of all, as Graham and Terry were with their managers' hats on, with the way that England managed to keep the ball.
Yeah, well, I think from where we're sitting here, I'm quite pleased that Frank Lampard has gone and scored again, and Scholes has got in the goal scoring frame again. There's 2 midfield players that have got up there and scored, and you know, Michael Owen's going to score. Let's hope it's against Portugal in the quarter-final. But when you're getting a healthy number of goals coming from other sources, you know, 4-2 is a great result, and we beat Switzerland by 3. So no, I think we can go into the quarter-finals with great confidence. And it will be the biggest game of the tournament, I would imagine, so far. And why can't we go and win it?
This boy Rooney's quite good, Alan.
Well, I think we've known that. I think it's interesting as well. I think that you've just been talking about David Beckham and perhaps how tired he's looking and what a long season he's had. I think if you have a look at what's happened to Wayne Rooney, he's not played too much football at all this year. I think David Moyes has either left him out or used him as a sub. And I think the appearances he's had for Everton is nowhere near perhaps what the other players at this tournament have been playing. So perhaps he's peaking, and perhaps he's full of beans and nice and fresh just at the right time for his country.
Alan, interesting thoughts. Thank you very much indeed. Alan Kirbishley, who's watched France beat Switzerland. And this is Garth Crooks with David Beckham.
Well, David, you got the result that you desperately wanted. Was that the best performance that we've seen from England this tournament?
Definitely this tournament. I think, I think we showed a lot of confidence, especially in the first half. Even when we went 1-0 down, it was all over Croatia, and we was playing our football. It was important that we carried on playing the football, which we did. We knew we'd break them down, and with the two players up front we've got, we're going to get goals.
We looked anxious to start, but just a word about Paul Scholes. He hasn't scored for 3 years,
No, well, we all said it. Scholes, he don't have to score goals. He does so much more in a game, than scoring a goal. But, for his confidence and for him and for the lads, it's great that he's got a goal now. And, hopefully we can go on from here, and he can.
A word about Wayne Rooney. You have to pinch yourself to remind he's only 18.
Yeah, you do. When you see him perform, and nothing phases him, and big game tonight, and he's produced again, and he deserves all the praise that he's going to get.
Now we have to look ahead to Thursday, Portugal. Your old friend Luis Figo, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, of course. We all watched their game last night, and we saw what they can do, and we're well aware of what players they can produce out there. And Ronaldo had a great game last night, and obviously so did Luis, and it'd be nice to see him. But it's going to be a tough game. We've got 2 days now to rest, and it's a big game.
Many congratulations. Well done.
Cheers.
That's Garth Crooks with David Beckham. Terry, what do you think about Portugal against England in the quarter-final? How do you look at that one?
Well, it's going to be a cracker, isn't it? We saw Portugal get through last night against Spain. It was very nervy, very edgy, but it was pretty edgy tonight in certain circumstances, although England got through quite comfortably in the end. But there's goals written all over it, isn't there? I think so, because the way that Portugal try and attack as well, England will try and attack, and if England can play anything like they did tonight, I think they've got a very, very good chance of going through. But you're playing the hosts, and we've had a great support. England have had a great support here. It's the best support I've ever seen from an England team away from home. Better than the 1990 World Cup semi-finals, I feel. It's just incredible. Is that going to be the same when it comes to this same stadium against Portugal? I don't know. I would think there'd be a lot more Portuguese in here than there were Croatians here tonight. So the atmosphere is going to be fantastic. On the football front, yes, they can do it. But at the same time, Portugal will fancy their chances as well.
14 shots on goal from England this evening. 19 shots overall, Graham Taylor.
Yeah, it shows what type of game it is. Everybody was enthusing about the Czech Republic, Holland, the number of shots. We've had 32 shots in all, I think, on the statistics there. So it just shows what type of game it is. It's one of the most open games I've seen at tournament level on the international scene. And both players, both teams have to be given credit for it.
Let's hear from Wayne Rooney.
Wayne, another great night for you. How do you do it?
I don't know, just go out there and play in my normal game. I think the team done very well today. I'm lucky enough I got 2 goals.
Spectacular.
Could say that, but we're just going out there and we're trying to do our job as best as we can.
Do you feel you're developing a decent understanding now with Michael Owen?
Yeah, I think we've played up front well together. Obviously Mike hasn't scored tonight, but he's set a few goals up for me, and I think the partnership's going well.
What will that goal for Paul Scholes do for his confidence? His first in 3 years internationally.
Yeah, I think he's been looking for, and good for him. He's got it tonight. I think it was a brave header, and just well done to him.
You got all the headlines, Wayne. Thanks a lot.
Oh, cheers. Thanks.
That's Damien Johnson speaking to Wayne Rooney. Paul Scholes, a goal, Terry. You saw him. You probably saw his last goal in Greece. I'm sure you did.
Yep.
Oh, that was so long ago. You'd only just retired.
It was a long while ago. It feels like a decade ago, but it's only 3 years. But it was a long time to wait for a goal. But Sven-Göran Eriksson has kept faith with him in a difficult role in terms of the left-hand side of midfield, that problem role for England. But he drifted in really well. There were some lovely moves when Scholes was coming inside. Lovely one-touch linking with Rooney as well. And Michael Owen was always providing the sort of depth of the attack. Good one-touch football in the end led to the goal. Yes, it was a brave challenge from Michael Owen on the goalkeeper. The ball popped up and then Rooney headed it goalwards, and then Scholes stooped really. I mean, he's only about, what, 5'1", but stooped to head the ball in the back of the net. I think anybody else would have broken their neck to head it in, but it was right on his head and he put it in. And I think you could sense the relief, not only in Paul Scholes, but around the England support. But the icing on the cake would have been a goal for Michael Owen. It wasn't to be, but, you know, England are just happy no matter who scores.
Everyone's 5'1" when you're as tall as you are, Terry. Was it too open a game from Sven-Göran Eriksson's point of view? As the manager, delighted though you are, you've won 4-2. Would you actually be thinking, that was just too open for my liking, and looking further on into the championship?
Well, he'd probably recognise that, but think that the next game is unlikely to be that. You know, although we have two sides that can attack there. You know, when you've won the game 4-2 and in the situation they're going 1-0 down, they're through the group stage. They've done everything that's expected of them. They lose somewhat, unfortunately, 2-1 to France in the first game. They win the next two games with 7 goals scored and 2 against. What more can we ask for? And I think they've done very, very well, but we mustn't get carried away, and I'm sure Sven Eriksson will make sure that they don't do that. One of the things I particularly like, because there's been so much talk about Michael Owen, 3 minutes from the end of the game, a ball went out into the deep right-back position in fact, the corner flag. And Michael Owen chased that right-back down. And that's what I was talking about earlier. He'll protect himself with his off-the-ball work. If the supporters see that kind of reaction, he will protect himself whilst he goes through this run without scoring. And I was so pleased to see that. I thought he did so much better in this game than he had done in the previous two.
Most of the stadium is empty, with the England substitutes under the watchful eye of Sam Elia just stretching their legs. Terry, I thought it was interesting as well that Steven Gerrard clearly tried to set him up for a goal there. I think if it had been 0-0 or 1-1 or close, Gerrard would probably have had him shot himself late on there. But he was clearly trying to set up Owen because he recognises just how important confidence-wise it would be for Owen to score.
Yeah, but it's one of the ones where it has to be, what, 1 inch out with an open goal for Michael Owen to put it in the back of the net. I mean, you know, it's not that he'll miss chances deliberately, but it's just not quite running for him, and you really feel for him. I think the whole of England feels for Michael Owen, and yes, it would have been the icing on the cake, but he's been setting up goals. He's linking the play well. He's on the shoulder of the last defender. He's that sort of target man that has to make that unselfish running work across the back four to do very well.
Let's hear from Sven with Garth Crooks.
Well, a magnificent performance, Sven. Can you put it into some sort of context for us? Can you explain it for us?
No, I think we played very good football first half. We controlled everything, and of course it was a pity they scored on the first free kick. They had a wide free kick. But then we took over all the game, and it was only in the second half they started to create something again, Croatia. So good performance. I think we played as we should like to play always, and if we do like this Thursday and in the future, I think we should be very happy.
You've had players like Rui Costa, Paulo Sousa, Baggio. Talk to me about Wayne Rooney. He's a phenomenon.
Well, what about to say about him, which not already been said? 2 goals again today, and fantastic goals, both of them. And I mean, he's also doing hard work for the team. He's always dropping. He's always available. You play the ball to him, and he helps us defend as well. So absolutely fantastic.
We looked very anxious, particularly early in the first half. Were you concerned?
I was not concerned. I mean, if we play football like we did, especially first half and a bit in second half, I shouldn't be concerned, because sooner or later we score. Of course, you can lose games anyhow, but we can't do much more than we did the first half, I think.
Well, we're back here again on Thursday against Portugal. You know them very, very well. Terrific game in prospect.
Of course it will be. Portugal, they are technically very good. Pace, and they did in Spain yesterday. I saw the game and they did very well. So we have 2 days rest and then back on the pitch, so we'll see.
Still on course to win the tournament?
Well, if we play as we did first half today, I think it's not easy to beat us. The only thing we have to cope with now is try to recover as quick as possible after these 90 minutes today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sven-Göran Eriksson with Garth Crooks. 6:06 is around the corner with Mark Bright and Gavin Peacock coming off the bench late. Now it's time for the news with Dalia Raphael.